Hi, we're live. I like to just jump right in because I don't really necessarily come on here to talk to people. But I had such a great time last night and I got like 20 something new followers, which was awesome. So thank you for following. Um, it's me and Kitty here, Mole Sport Kitty here. She look angry right now though, like she want to fight the mold. But I have two UV lights running in her favorite spots. So we're cleaning up the spores so that she can go and lay in her favorite spots if she want to. Um, what I came here to say was so much today. Um, the ability to compartmentalize is everything when you're in this. Oh, booby. When you're in this program. Um, I watched a police commissioner meeting today that was so interesting. They said, "Fuck you" to the commissioners, right? I think that's very disrespectful, but that's how mad people are. It made me laugh. I want to say it. I don't know if I would though, right? Like they still had to earn their job and their title. But if they're doing fuck shit, fuck, I'll say fuck you after they get convicted. Um, because I do think it is like even being in this program, while it's annoying as fuck to be constantly harassed, uh my IQ allows me to see the benefits of it. So my what I wanted to say about it is there's two sides to it. There's the criminal component of it. There's criminal watchers. What's up, old school Dave? There's criminal watchers, and then there are like the authoritative watchers. And up until now, like the reason I don't talk about my work is because I don't need to. I have to keep it separate. There's an element of confidentiality, and I think anybody stupid enough. Okay, so much I don't even know how to say it without like, I'll ruin shit. I will ruin all your shit. Don't do secret shit around me. This is me responding as if you should have never put me in the program, but I understand why, because I do see the good to it. So there is the element of, how do I say it? Places I've been at before, there's been corruption, right? Um, there are people watching me because of shit that I did when I was younger. They probably thought, and this is entertainment purposes only, okay? So they probably thought, damn, at 15 years old, this bitch smart enough to commit a white collar crime, but stupid enough to get caught for it. I was 15. It wasn't anything. I wasn't trying to make a career off of it. I was trying to get some shoes from Delia's. Um, I got a bunch of shoes from Delia's. And then I told my mom, when I remember, we'll talk about it when the package came, because I believe it's past the statute of limitations, so I could talk about it. Um, when the package arrived, big ass package, multiple packages. I think I ordered like, I don't know how many checks I used, a handful, 5, maybe 10. But I do remember bringing the catalogs to school because I was like, when I was talking to my niece the other day, I told her like, she made me give her, she didn't make me, she asked me for $5, I gave it to her. And then I watched her give it to another kid. I'm like, what the fuck? Um, Whatever, my niece is just giving, but like, come on, man, that kid got a parent and shit. Like, you didn't just, we were at a cheerleading competition. You're not just like here and hungry. There's probably a reason her mom didn't give her money, like, you know? Anyways, my niece gave the money to the little kid. And I was just like, whatever. So it makes me think back to when I was younger and I did the little checky fraud things. Um, no, Kitty said no. So when I did that, uh, I brought the catalogs. That was back really before it was a whole bunch of internet ordering. We're just barely out of the AOL era. I was at home designing HTML pages on MySpace and shit before it was like, MySpace was cool, and I'm so happy they're talking about bringing it back, because MySpace gave you the whole design portion of it. You're not just like feeding into someone else's AI design and algorithm. MySpace was literally your space. It was whatever you wanted to make it. You could put your little buttons in there, your favorite music, pictures, and it was like marketing yourself, kind of, you know. Your friends' bands, you could put like widgets to their songs. So, um, this is around that time. I want you guys to watch my cat. And Delia's was big. This is 1999. 1999. Delia's was a big mail order catalog. Um, you could call in the order. I don't know if they had online. Did they? They probably did. Maybe it was nowhere near like anything that's going on today. You couldn't Google up shit that's near you. You could not. There was no like. It was different. So there was this mail order catalog, and I used to get it in the mail regularly. So this leans toward, I love that word, leans towards why I think it may have been a setup. They seen all the motherfucking mail order catalogs I got. Before it was mail order catalogs, it was National Geographic and Highlights and Mad Magazine. So as I grew up, I grew into, it's cat hair all over. I gotta brush her again and I gotta vacuum. I grew into mail order catalogs. I didn't have any money. I didn't have a job. I didn't have checks. My mom was the kind that said she didn't have McDonald's money, yet we lived in an area that was well off. Right? So I was like, damn, this sucks. Can't do shit. Can't get shit. You just go. It was back when you used to just go through the catalog and mark off the stuff that you liked or thought was cute and made your little mood board or whatever. And you was just looking at shit, just constantly staring at shit that you wanted. You see your friends get some shit and like, I don't know. The whole thing was kind of greedy, kind of materialistic. She gets to go today because I have her spaces clean. I got UV lights and her spaces are getting clean. The whole thing was materialistic. And I remember going through, I picked out all the stuff I wanted from Alloy and Delia's. And I don't know if there was another catalog. But I would bring them to school. I brought them to school and I would ask people, do you want anything? Like, I'm going to get it. Because I have found my neighbor's checkbooks. And how I found them was the mailbox was broken and left open. And the mailman put a brand new box of checks in them. So just by whatever chance it was that she didn't check her mail before I got to the mailbox, she lost her checks to me. Right? So she was waiting on. That's like having so I didn't receive 3 of my credit cards, right? I'm thankful enough to have canceled them before it was an issue. So when they say that they're not doing anything to me that I haven't done to anybody, I understand. They did way more to me, but in a different way. And at this point, I don't know if some of like the short-term disability payments I didn't get or the AFLAC payments that I didn't get are part of like what they consider to be restitution. But I carry insurance because I live paycheck to paycheck. So those insurances were to make sure that in the event that I had to go on, and I had to go on short-term disability for 2 months because they tried to make me into a mental case. But you have to remember that they're controlling this. They control everything. So I guess they saw that I didn't necessarily have the need for it. And I didn't get mad about it because the fuck, you know, I got to pay my mom. And the biggest medical bill that I had, it just disappeared. It was, they did a brain scan. Was it an MRI or the other one? What's the other one? They put me, yeah, I think it was an MRI, the big magnet machine. I couldn't wear metal. They put me in the big magnet machine and they scanned my head. They said that I came out unremarkable. You can go now, Kitty. It's unremarkable. So, which unremarkable means that there was no issues in my brain. Everything's perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with my head. So that means that I wasn't a mental case. And I was supposed to, from that time, and this was in 2022, I was supposed to just be able to go on and live my life after that. But then it turns into, like, I just watched Confidential. Here, let me see if I can pull up his video. I just watched, not Confidential Informant, and maybe there's like so many setups. He might be a confidential informant who was given the task, I farted, of making a video to kind of like help calm the program down, wind it down. I don't know if they're winding it down or winding it up. I think it will always continue because there are benefits to it. If you're going after fucking guilty people, not innocent people. But the fact that I was a gate student, I think they know that I'm going to figure that shit out. The fact that I got a big ass mouth is why they got to keep gaslighting me so that it sounds like, oh no, this bitch is not. Like, I don't know if they have the ability to control mold through the apartment above me or around me or wherever it is. They have the ability to control everything, right? This sounds crazy. Here, let me give me a second. I'm going to try to find out this video so I can share it with you. Because I don't think that there's this many coincidences, you know? In life, I don't think things are so coincidental. I think that, oh no, see, it's different on the TV. Library, I guess. There we go. Gang Stalking Simulation is the name of the guy who posted it, I think. And the title of the video is Gang Stalking Color Codes Red. So, what I've been seeing is a lot of the color red. Some of my stalkers are talking about how they're trying to create a gang war, or that something has created a gang war already. And I don't think that's true. I think that, I don't know shit about gangs, first of all. All I know is that real gangsters don't shit where they sleep, which is why I think everybody in my building's fake. They're actors more so than gangsters. And for them to be around here, they're like, they don't look right. They don't look like the ones that I suspect to be around here. So it's very seldomly I will run into an actual gangster that lives and has lived where I live. My kitty's so happy she gets to walk around right now. The UV lights are everything. So many things. I should write it down. I should have written it down, but my brain's just always going. One of the things right now, so we'll talk about this. There's this guy. I don't know how much of this is. So hold on. Going back, gang stalking color codes red. Right. Let's talk about keywords. The other day, my mom said something about popcorn. Somebody else somewhere else was mentioning popcorn. If something was wrong, like there's a major federal case somewhere, and I feel like this is just making sure that I'm not going to lose my shit on the stand. Because like all my suspicions, I start to think back to like all the things that I hear. I do remember mostly everything, whether it be now or later. I will remember it. It's like flashbacks. I have memories. I have photographic memory. Is how when I go shopping, I know what's in my refrigerator. I know what I need to buy versus what I don't need to buy. So gang stalking, because it's very seldom that I'll ever buy anything twice. I think the other day I bought garlic. I already had garlic, but I knew that I was running out. So anyways, the kitty, get away from there. She's trying to get in her mold spore spot. The code, the key wording of the code words, it is a form of brainwashing, but I am of the thought that I can't be brainwashed, so I don't accept it as somebody doing so to control me. What I think of it as is people, because the way that I communicate, you can't just tell me to do something and I'm going to do it. If you tell me, it is demand avoidance. So if you tell me to do something, I'm going to be like, I'll do it. I have to prioritize myself, but I have no executive functioning. Like, it depends on who you get. So if you tell me and I'm not in the mood, like the way my mom and I communicate, and part of the reason we have a hard time is she likes to wait till I sit down to tell me to get up and do shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? I just sat down. I'll do, then she'll start to get mad. The longer it takes for me to do it, she'll start to get mad. And that's not a good relationship. I should be able to get up and do as she says. She's my mother. She's provided for me. It's just not anything really fucked up that she's done to me. Um, as far as like what I've seen or heard of other people, right? My mom has been a good mom. My mom raised 3 kids by herself. She's been a great mom. And I don't know if my sister feels the same way. I know my brother does because his ass living at our house right now. He has to. If he doesn't, he's fucked up in the head. Because there's no way that lady, like, he knows she will kick his ass out in a second. So it's no way that he doesn't respect what she's done for him. Right? That's her boy. That's her baby boy. That's why he gets treated in the way that he did. When he was growing up, he used to ride BMX bikes at national championships, and anything he needed, anytime he broke his bike, whenever he wanted something, she always got it for him. And she didn't even make any money. We never had McDonald's money, but he always had a motherfucking new bike. Right? My brother's spoiled, just like how my dad was spoiled by his mom. It's something about a mother-son relationship. Normally the daughter-mom relationship is different, and it goes more towards daughter-father relationship. So I'm thankful that my father was there. He wasn't there, but he was there. Like, my mom did not want me to be a cheerleader. That's all I wanted in high school. Like, see how you, like, it's not butting heads. My mom's just like, in her mind, that's like playing with Barbies, horse shit, like, just like sexualizing people. She's not like that. And my parents were separated. Cheerleading was expensive. My uniform was $3,000. And then my mom still had to come in and pay for, like, whenever we had to bring snacks to practice, fucking all the shit that we had to do in between that my dad wasn't there for or couldn't afford or wasn't able to send money for. My mom still had to pay for cheerleading, but my dad paid for the bulk of it, which was the uniform. So $3,000 motherfucking uniform for cheerleading. Good God. It was nice, though. Our uniforms were very nice. Our uniforms were half the reason we placed, like, in championships almost always. So, anyways, the keywording and stuff is designed to make, because I have the ability to have inner conversations with myself. The keywording is designed to make my thought process change, my thought patterns change. They're reminders is all it is. So them saying popcorn is a reminder of, like, a time where I mentioned popcorn. Everybody's just sitting back and watching the show. I don't even eat popcorn myself. I don't eat popcorn. I don't eat popcorn because my teeth. I don't like popcorn in my teeth. I don't like salt. I'm so different than other people. I don't like potato chips. I don't like French fries. It's all too salty for me. That's salt. Maybe I need to eat more salt. That's why my eyes are swollen, or maybe I'm eating too much salt. I just touched my eye today, though, and the whole shit swelled up, like, immediately. So that goes to show you how important it is to wash your hands. One of the things I was thinking about earlier is my mom, being Japanese, I don't think she thought she needed to teach me how to wash my hands. She thought maybe, because you have to remember, our parents were kids too, right? So maybe she just thought that's something that I'm just going to figure it out. It was another parent, my friend's mom, when she had a baby. I think I was like 8, 9, 10 years old, something like that. And I went over to visit her house. We were hanging out. And her mom had to tell me, like, skirt, go straight to the bathroom, wash your hands. Like, that's the first thing you should do when you walk inside of somewhere. And to think about it, her mom worked at Cedars-Sinai as, like, a scientist. She was the one looking in a microscope. I remember we went to her work one day. She had, like, pipettes and a centrifuge. I don't know what the fuck it was that she does, but something that made me know that washing hands was very important to her in general in life. You got to wash your hands. So I didn't, that's like a life skill that I didn't learn from my mom, and my mom was in my life. Isn't that crazy? So if it's like out of sight, out of mind, if it's not part of something that you think about, like my mom, washing her hands comes naturally to her. She doesn't even think about it. But she might not be on the level that I'm at now, because I've seen like what happens if you fucking contact transfer. You might have the cleanest hands in the world. I had just washed my hands. I just went to the bathroom, just washed my hands, but I made the mistake of typing on my keyboard and then itching my eyeball. And immediately my eyeball went woof. Like, what the fuck? But I think it has more to do with other things. It's like air quality, whatever is in the air, allergies, a little bit of allergies because of the mold. Um, the dust on my keyboard not being dust is actually mold. So it's constant cleaning. So let's go look at, so gang stalking color codes red. What I've been seeing a lot, and this is, it goes towards them trying to, I don't know if they're trying to create a gang war. Please don't start one. And if I can ask for anything, uh, like violence, you gotta like check yourself before you wreck yourself. You know, think about how much time you're gonna spend behind bars just to get a little bit of what it is that you want. They still do arrest people. People still do get arrested. People still do get set up. People still do get put behind bars. So, like, I respect all of your shit, and I understand that gangs are like families. It's a support system. It's for kids who don't have families. That's what the family that they found. Um, Another thing I also know is gangs change from just going outside and murdering people. It's like financial crimes now. I would say, wouldn't you say, that a financial crime is much better than losing your life? Understandably, some people do lose their lives because some of that money was intended for medical shit. But like, like this, the whole world learning a lesson right now. Don't be a dick. Don't be a dick so that they don't want to do that shit to you. Right? You have to be compassionate and giving and caring, understand other people's situations, but not to the point where you leave yourself broke, hung out to dry. Like, empathy is everything. When I walk down the street, if I see somebody and they're hungry and I got it and they don't, I'm gonna hook them up. I'm gonna help them out. There's gang stalkers where I walk by, I'm like, I know I fed his ass. I don't know if he ate it because I ate a little bit of it and it, like, the texture was off for me. So that's the reason I gave it to him. It wasn't because it didn't taste good, but maybe he's a texture eater. Maybe he hasn't eaten in 3 days and the pepper's too spicy for him, you know? But I definitely know I've fed people in my neighborhood. I fed their animals. Um, it's, if you got it, it's not flaunting it. If you got it, share that shit so other people don't have to struggle. Also recognize when somebody's taking advantage. Um, so those people are not here every day like asking for handouts. Those people just keep passing through, right? So it's not like I'm a full support system for an individual. If I see somebody and I can help them, that's the situation that it is. It doesn't take too much away from me. And everybody should know I still go do my recycling, because in the event that shit hits the fan and that's the only way I can go make money, like legally and respectfully, or extra money or whatever, that's a real way to make money. So pushing a cart, collecting cans, I don't see anything wrong with it, because you never know when you're going to end up there. um I'll still go get my $3 because that's my $3. I bought the fucking soda. I bought a flat of soda. It's my $3. I'm gonna go get it. Right? But you gotta think like, oh well, man, it's $6 a gallon for gas. So I used to use my shopping cart to walk to go get it, because it didn't make any sense to me to go get my car, spend $6 on gas so I could go get $3 back on these cans. Fuck those cans. Leave the cans in the fucking recycle bin for somebody else to get it, and don't spend the $6 on the gas. You know, like, logistically, what is it? But if I gotta go to the post office and the recycle place is next to the post office, you better believe I'm gonna go get the car, get the cans, do the shit, right? I used to go on my bicycle till the lady in the post office told me I can't bring my bike in anymore, so whatever, I don't go on my bike, right? Like, where there's a will, there's a way, and you can make it make sense. So, as far as my situation with the moldy spores, health department came, nicest lady, she's young. Um, a year of experience, I think a year of experience is enough to get to know what it is that you're doing. The one question I didn't ask her is if she likes it or not. That's normally a question I ask people. Like, do you like your job? I ask plumbers if they like their job, because that's a dirty ass job, right? And if you say you don't like it and you don't get paid well, that makes me think I need to go in and check the plumbing and make sure everything's okay when you leave. But if you like your job, like I love my job, like it, love it, whatever it is. I've been doing it for 23 years. It's a job not a lot of people can do. It's a job a lot of people would hate. Um, are there times where it's like stressful? A little bit. Are there times where you don't want to do it? Not really, because I understand the importance of it. Like, it is, you have to complete things. Other people are depending on you. You need to finish that shit. That's why they hired your ass, right? Especially if you've negotiated your salary, right? Like they only wanted to pay you this much, but I said, nah, I need this much. And the reason is because I don't want to have to look for another job to make up the difference. I really like what you guys have going on, and I think that I would like to make sure that I don't have to uh, look for other ways to make ends meet, because that's what I was doing at my last job. That's what I was doing at the job before. The job before that, they just paid me like stupid money, and it was easy peasy, Mickey Mouse squeezy. So that was not, it was not rewarding, right? I feel like, why are you paying me so much? I guess I'll just finish all of this. You got anything for me to do? I'll finish more. I got some more stuff to finish. I'll finish that too, you know. And then working overtime was even more stupid, crazy money. And the funny thing is, I make the same amount of money that I make now, but what I make now is more respectfully earned. When I was at the place 2 places ago, it was like just PDF editing, and I know I increased productivity. Uh, I don't want to be a manager because I don't want people to blame shit on me. I want people to be able to take responsibility for what it is that they have to do, and I had that there. They the only people I had issues with was management, who kept trying to put negative remarks in my employment file. Um, but everybody, I think in my last few jobs, everybody there, except for when the one I worked at for 6 years, the job I had the longest, there were a lot of people who I think were underpaid, and they talked about it every day. They wanted to complain about it. You could tell that they didn't get what it was that they needed. So what that lends to is criminal activity. So out of all of the last places that I've worked at, I think the one I got wrongfully terminated from is one that the higher ups hired people that were, I would say, in desperate situations. I wouldn't call the people desperate. I would say that they're in desperate situations, and the place was nice enough to not have to look for another job. They gave people freedom enough to not have to look for another job. And maybe they have been participating in this program enough so that people had a supplemental income that wasn't coming from them. I just don't know how I don't know about this, because I never had to look. I've always asked for the money that I needed, and if I didn't get it, I'd go somewhere else. So, I've never even thought about like side job. How I'm tired as fuck. That's why I work hard, and then at the end of the day, I'm tired as fuck. So that's how I'm able to sleep at night, whether it's an hour, 2 hours, 5 hours. I'm able to sleep well, get good enough rest, because I know I work my ass off, and I got to do it again tomorrow. So when I'm asleep, even if it's 5 minutes, I might fall asleep on you in the middle of time. You guys have seen me do it. In the middle of lives, I'll just be, oh, ooh, that 2 seconds closing my eyes felt so good. So when you gotta sleep, you gotta sleep. It doesn't matter what's going on around you. Another thing, just more about me, I have not used an alarm to get up since high school, because before high school, it used to be my mom pulling the covers off me, get your ass up, make your bed, do all the shit, and that was so intrusive. And then once you're like at that age where like my mom would go to work and she didn't pull the covers off so much, as you get older and you realize you got to take your ass to school on your own, I had to use an alarm. And then it was the sleep, snooze, snooze, snooze. And it's like, what the fuck am I even setting the time on the alarm for if I know I'm gonna sleep a whole hour after I fucking that shit goes off? Like, what do you gain from sitting in bed after you know that you got to get your ass up? So like this morning, I got up 5 o'clock on the dot, and I think it's because people were getting antsy, or they wanted to see if I could hear them. Like, if I was awake, my body alarm clock, it knows what time I need to get up at. So if I ever sleep in on a no alarm day, motherfucker, I needed the sleep. I'm gonna call in. I'm gonna be late. Whatever it is, I needed that sleep. Uh, but very seldomly do I ever have to do that. Most of the time, I'll just get my ass up, make sure I get my shit together in the amount of time that I have before it is to have to go start my shit. So, um, like, to me, it's more important to go check on where my car is parked than it is to get a ticket, right? The $60, I'll wake my ass up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go on a 2 hour walk so I could go find my shit, right? And $60, $60, after taxes, that's about how much I make an hour. So, you opportunity cost. How much does it cost you to sleep in? It costs you $400 if your shit gets towed. So that's a whole fucking day. Your ass better get up. You know, that's LA. Like, I don't understand how people get parking tickets. If you can't read the sign, that's one thing. You gotta learn how to do that, or learn where you can or can't park. Um, but I don't understand how people's cars end up getting towed unless they went to jail, died, or like just fucked up one night, Um, it's a strange thing to have your car towed. It's for me, that's really irresponsible. Uh, in LA, I just found out it's only 24 hours notice, so you have to go check on your shit daily. You can leave it there for 72, but 24 hours notice of a no tow or no parking zone. And that was, thankfully, I learned that from a meter maid. So there's a lot of meter maids around here that aren't necessarily doing their job. Maybe they're out Pokemon chasing, but the city might have more money. I don't know what the city's budget is like, what their bank account looks like, but I've been in accounting. I'm so interested. Like, I could think of, I go work anywhere in accounting because numbers are interesting to me. How business run is interesting to me. Um, I don't ever want to be at a place that's broke, they can't pay their bills, because that's stressful. That's not how I want to live my life. So it's stressful if you work at a company or a corporation and they're like, oh gosh, we can't pay Peter and we can't pay Paul, right? So it's very nice to be able to work at places that are cash based, like their shit's covered. Um, and when I worked at the place I got wrongfully terminated from, I don't think they had a lot of debt. They had vendors that, so how it operated was vendors would get paid after the client pays the bills. So they had a lot of angry vendors that weren't getting paid because the clients weren't paying the bills. That's the importance of my job. My job was important to get the vendors paid. So if we had used like a arbitration service or something, and they didn't make the correct negotiations when they signed the deal, if they didn't ask for direct billing from the client, so that means they do the work and they get the money right away from the client versus having to wait for us to bill the client, get paid by the client, make the payment. That's the longest process for getting paid. That's annoying. You're going to have vendors that don't fucking like you. You're going to always be struggling to find good representation. Um, that that's not a way to be as a law firm, I would say. Um, where I've worked at other law firms where they got the money. As soon as the bill comes in, within the terms of the bill, 15, 30 days, however many days it is, that shit gets paid, scheduled, paid. That's organized. That's really nice. When I worked there, the boss, her desk was clean. The other lady's desk was scary as fuck. But I like working for bosses that have clean desks. I like working for bosses that don't got a bunch of paperwork that's motherfucking, oh my gosh, that's from 6 months ago. Did you do that? Like, that's scary to me. Like, imagine your file gets lost on their desk. Like, ooh, watch where you go. Be careful where you go to. I don't know if that's a question you can ask in an interview, but you could definitely pay close attention when you walk by the offices. So yeah, that, like, oh my gosh, there there are there's a reason for this. So as a GATE student, the government knows about me. You're put on a little list, and if they don't choose you for the CIA, you just, like, it's like trickle down. Well, what can we use her for? Well, we know this bitch knows how to read better than 98% of the people out there. What can we use her for? Let's see if we can make her tired. Let's see if we can stress her out. It's like a bad relationship, a bad narcissistic relationship, going through the targeted justice program just because of some shit I did when I was 15. Like, I think by now you guys should know, 30 motherfucking years. In 3 more years, it'll be 30 years of this shit. And you should know that I'm not going to commit another crime, right? If you ever have gone and been locked up and then had to get a laundry roll, it's nice to have somebody. It's twofold. You got 5 minutes to shower, so that's a con. Um, it's nice to have a fresh towel every week, you know? And when I was in juvenile hall, my roommate, Jessica Prado, if you're out there, come say what's up, right? I gotta take you to the alley. We gotta get matching jumpsuits or whatever. But if she was a laundry lady, we always had the clean underwear, and even still, like, as soon as new underwear would come in, we got it because she's a laundry lady. We had the best towel. Our roll was nice. Our socks was good, elastic, everything, right? Pants was good, no holes, no fucking weirdo shit. Like, laundry was important. I stay like this because I'm on my period right now, and everything hurts. Everything hurts, and I haven't smoked weed in I don't know how long, a month. And I don't plan on getting weed. And I also don't have my cacao. Cacao's a anti-inflammatory, but I drink. Acai is also natural anti-inflammatory, so I'm chilling right now. Don't mind my back. I'm trying not to bleed on my couch. I'm sitting on a potty pad, pissy pad. I might as well be 55, but I feel like I'm 20, so it's whatever you want it to be. So the whole program, juvenile hall, 15 years old, I did a month in there, and I seen some things I don't ever want to see. I can't say that any of the guards were sexual abusers. I remember the guards, and if I seen them, I wonder if I would still remember them. They probably look a whole lot different today. But I remember, like, we had to take pills. There was people who would cheat pills and be like, I took it, and they didn't. Like, they'd line up for medication. I don't think I ever had to line up for medication. I remember, are you going to eat that? And if you know what, if you know, you know. I remember serving food. I was picked to, like, how my roommate was the laundry lady. She got to use a radio, fold the laundry when it came out. They would bring the laundry to our cell, and we just do laundry. And then, like, all your rolls, every single person's roll in there was rolled up by her or me. And then we had a sweet little radio, right? So we always got to fucking, I wonder if she got the carborundum dust special too. I really wonder about her. I wonder where she ended up in life, because she was younger than, she was like 13, I was 15. And she had already been in there a few years. So, and I think she was really from a gang. So 13 years old, part of a gang, run with the gang, family members in the gang, whoever, whatever. But that shit's real. So when you guys are out here at your old ages, 40 years old, you're not the ones I'm scared of. The ones that are scary is the 13-year-olds. 13-year-olds, they don't know consequence. They never experienced, some of them never been to juvenile hall, never been to jail. They don't know consequences. Those are the ones that are doing the bad shit. So watch your fucking kids. If you have kids, watch them. When I was 15, I became a ward of the state. And so imagine that. Imagine being a ward of the state and then the state getting a hold. I think GATE program is not necessarily federally sponsored or anything. It's individual states. They're the ones who control the GATE program. So each state's GATE program is different. So imagine you being the person, let's say it's the judge or the district attorney, what do you call it, public defender, and you find out this bitch is a motherfucking GATE student. And now she's a ward of the state. How are we going to use her? Right? So you can imagine being followed your whole life and set up for a crime, like they said, but also having the government at any minute be able to go in and arrest everybody that's trying to use you for the crime. Right? And that's what the radio waves are. That's what viral wire is. One day I was walking by the Tesla diner, and there's this guy out there who like freestyles. He has his songs. He's cool. He's against Elon Musk, and that's all he does is talk about him, plays his little drum, makes a big fuss about it. It's a protest in front of the Tesla diner. I don't know if he still does it, but on the weekends he used to do it. And when I walked by there, he had mentioned something about getting rid of the viral wire. The viral wire is me. And when I say viral wire, it's the little funny teeth I got and the carborundum dust. And it makes my brainwaves broadcastable to whoever wants to fucking hear that shit. Right? Right? So, most people, most citizens in general won't know about it, or you need like a device or whatever to listen to it. That device is, I'm giving you all the information today, Elon Musk's Neuralink. Now, if you do research on the Neuralink, it's going to seem impossible for so many people to have it. There's only like a couple of documented cases of people having it. Me personally, I would never go in for one. I need 10 years worth of research before I do any kind of fucking shit. I want to see who dies in those 10 years. 25 years of research, even better. So I would not let somebody implant a piece of hardware in my head. But it is similar to like a cochlear implant, right? So if cochlear implants have been around forever, but you still letting somebody cut into your head, that's motherfucking crazy. Is it a dental work? Is it like what? How? That's one thing I don't know, one thing I can't figure out. Maybe I'll do research on it. I don't really care. But I do know that there are people out there that have the ability to hear my thoughts, and they have the ability to make it so that I feel like I'm psychic. I don't believe I'm psychic. I believe in pattern recognition. I believe in research, intelligence, theory testing, science, STEM, math, all that shit. Like math, the reason I was a mathy is because 1 and 1's always going to be 2. If you're a literary person, if you write shit, it all depends on who you're writing for. So like, literarily, I don't know if that's even a word, but you can still get an A on a paper and not know what the fuck you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? If your teacher just likes you and says, I like that idea, or it leaves things up for interpretation. It's the way someone interprets it that matters. It's not necessarily how you said it. So if you know who you're writing for and you know how to pull on their emotional strings, you're always going to get an A, right? You make it so that they're like, damn, that's genius, right? I had AI tell me I'm a genius. So if you know who you're writing for, you're going to do well in that class. But I prefer reading and comprehension over writing. I can write, but I look at someone else's writing, I'm like, that makes so much more sense, right? So one of the things, I'll give you an example. How do I say it? Like in an email, right? You read an email one way, you're given a certain amount of information, you decipher it whatever way you decipher it. It's a complicated email. It's something that has you going back and forth, around in circles, and then they ask you, please advise. So now it's up to you to take the information you're given and determine what the next step should be. If you read it wrong, your email, your reply email, or whatever it is that you send is going to be wrong, and people are going to be like, what the fuck? You're going to confuse people even more if you cannot comprehend. But if you take the time to separate your variables, I turn reading into math. Separate your variable. What is it? Well, is this number? That's a absolute number. That number's not going to change. What is this? That's an absolute number. That's not going to change. What are they asking? They're asking, does one go to this absolute number? Does one go to this absolute number? Or do we need a whole new number? And not everybody, some people are readers and some people are mathers. So you have to figure out who you're writing for. And what I like is to reword what somebody said in the way that I best understand it, because my thought process is always different than most normal typical people. That's why they call it neurotypical and neurodivergent. So what I like to give people is, if I believe someone is neurotypical and they have the ability to explain things very well, like anybody can understand, a 2-year-old can understand it, I give them that option. But I also leave the option open for them being neurodivergent. And if I can eliminate stuff that's not necessary, I'm going to give you the most basic breakdown of that shit, because, like, you know, the other stuff, there's like, when I create an email, it's usually too much information, but that's because I go back to my emails and I use them for organizing, searching. I make it's like archivable. So if I search a keyword, a number, even a symbol, right? I know my filing system is even, if you want to make Z come before A, how do you do that? You put an asterisk in front of that shit. So now you got your Z folder above the A folder. You can still sort alphabetically, and your Z folder is always going to be on the top. Right? You can force shit to change. So thinking outside the box is a beautiful thing. And what else? So anyways, that's the reason I'm in this shit right now. And I watched another guy, the guy who was talking about gang stalkers and the color red, and that's something that we have in common right now. So it makes me think that nationally, because I believe he's in another state, so nationally they're just sending out messages to these people. So right now all the gang stalkers are wearing the color red. So that may have something to do, I don't know if it's, and that's pattern recognition. I have to see if it's just an area, like if it's just a neighborhood, because I know there's a yellow orange, so we're escalating, right? So I don't know if there was ever a green. I remember there being a brown. Brown was like UPS. There's a whole bunch of brown around me. Everybody had on brown shirts, beige shirts. The color was brown. And then it turned into yellow orange. And then now we're at red. So I don't know what comes after red. But red is very easily recognizable. And I watched this guy's video, and it's the same. It's not schizophrenia. He's not mental. He's going through the same shit that I'm going through. There's no way in hell it's a coincidence. He was saying that where he's from, it's not gangs out there. It's not a bunch of one gang this, one gang that. I think as far as out here in California, at least in Hollywood, people try to avoid wearing gang colors because they're aware of gangs. They are aware that gangs exist. You don't see them, not like in the days when my sister used to hang out here and they were banging with flags on, bandanas and shit. Hollywood is not like that. At least I walk through Hollywood all times of night, so you can't tell me that it's like that. But they bring out, when I had my dog, it really used to be, and I used to ride my bike at 2 a.m. in the morning. Like, I like those hours because it's not a lot of people out. It's less people, it's less stimulation, less overstimulation. So like at 11 o'clock, when I know what baseline at 11 o'clock is everybody's already on their way home. Unless you're going out to a club and you know which clubs go off on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. right? So baseline is people looking like they're driving home. They got dinner, they're going home from their friend's house, they went grocery shopping, they did laundry. That's normal shit. But then you got drug addicts, and drug addicts have no fucking baseline. They're base heads. So that's all that at nighttime is all you see. The other night, some guy I told you ran at me looking all fucking. He wasn't even sweaty enough to be a real drug addict. He did not, right? Like, for you to be run. I seen the LAPD chase a crackhead, and crackhead would have gotten away if it wasn't for the number of officers. They put him out there. It was like a show. It was literally entertainment. I sat on the corner watching him. He was making a big old fuss outside of Starbucks, walked up to the line of cars, standing in front of the drive-through window. Eventually, the cops, their station is like right around the corner, so they got here relatively quickly. They brought, I think, an excessive amount, but that it was like a track meet for the cops. It was funny as fuck. Every single officer was running in a motherfucking circle. You had like 20 cops out here chasing a crackhead. And I almost want to say, like, they bet whoever catches him first, you know? Whoever catch him first gets the fucking coldest beer. Some stupid shit. Right? You seen the cops that's not so athletic in the back. And then you got your fucking sprinters up in the front. Like, I'm going to get his ass. It's funny. Being a cop is probably like being in high school. Um, so they got him eventually. One of the cops damn near drove his fucking cop car off the bridge. Right? He tried to hit a bitch and didn't realize his wheelbase turned. That's maybe a rookie, right? Hit the curb, skirt, made a bigger distraction than the fucking crackhead, and then parked his shit wrong way on the street, closed the street down. Um, Life in LA is motherfucking crazy. There is no baseline. It's a bunch of base heads. Because I've seen it change. It used to be relatively calm where I live, and there wasn't a bunch of drug addicts because there's families that live here. Aside from these apartments, it's seniors. It's seniors. Uh, People like me, middle age, 30 to fucking 50, and then you got like families, the people with families in their 20s and shit with little kids. They gotta walk to school. So that's why when I see the ladies of the night, street ladies, out at 6 in the morning, you're fucking LA up. Nobody wants to see your ass. Everybody's walking their kids. Yeah, there's more than drug addicts now. It's everybody. It used to just be prostitutes. Prossies. Used to just be. And now it's prossies and drug addicts. Drug addicts are nasty. They're messy. The working ladies, we used to have trash cans on the corner, so it was no problem. I don't know if they had issues. Every now and then you might see a condom on the side, but it was not as trashy as it is right now. Right now, I don't even think they're real drug addicts. Like, I walked out the other day, was it this morning? And I went on a walk with my kitty cat, and I don't know how homeless people is affording Starbucks and shit. They got like Starbucks, like they paid for that shit. Unless Starbucks was just giving food away, it's like police stakeout. They're sitting on a motherfucking, somebody threw out a mattress, like a relatively clean mattress, and they're just sitting out there all night. And that's what I mean. They're like waiting for me to come out. They're waiting for me to take my trash out. They're waiting because I will go out. I won't go out. I will go out. You don't know right now. It's 7:30. I might talk to you all night long for 2 more hours, or in 30 minutes I might decide to go on a walk because I want to go get Panda Express. But I had a good day in the sun today. So if you guys are out there waiting for me to come out, you might be able to take your break. You could go pee or whatever because I'm probably just going to be home tonight. But yeah, because I'm sleepy and my fucking period and shit. I'm not in a walking mood right now. So it's not a... Yeah, I'm itching right now. This is cat hair. I need to take a shower too. But Panda... I like Panda because it's clean. And I think, oh, let's talk about Mold Sport Kitty. New topic. Thanks, Dave. Mold Sport Kitty, Mold Detector Kitty. Right now, she's laying in the hallway between my bathroom and the kitchen, which is the place where the floorboards are most messed up. And that's because I put UV lights in her the little closet space and her, I call it her vacation house that's in the window. Um, so I put the UV lights there to clean it up. So she picked the third most stinky mold spot that she could find, which is right in the center of the room. You can't see the mold because the mold's on the subfloor. So it's whatever. She's gonna get brushed off probably. I'm gonna run the UV lights a little bit more. But we were walking today. What I want to say, I think if you work at Siren Studios and you have bad allergies, you notice a rash, you got mold in your house, you should talk to whoever it is there, because I believe if it's not the Siren Studio building, it's somewhere nearby. The reason I think it's the Siren Studio building is because when we walk by, right, every single time for like the last week at least, I've noticed, since I've discovered that my cat is a mold detection cat, if she is not alerting as far as like a person who's using whatever app it is that you use to listen to me, she's alerting to the mold. So when we walk by, there's a certain area like this morning, and there, I'll tell you where's a clean area. There's a hotel. Either there's no, the person there is not listening to me on their fucking thing. They don't got the little mental thing, whatever, the installation, whatever it is. But I think that their cleaning crew is just, it just does their job very well. They understand that it's outside is dirty, and the cleaning crew, they may use UV lights. I don't know how they clean, but it's the hotel that's right, what is it, east, just east of Siren Studio. That's a clean motel hotel. Because Mold Sport Kitty does not alert on that hotel. Not at all. I walk past every day, just about. And Mold Sport Kitty does not alert on that hotel. So kudos to you and your cleaning team. Whoever your cleaning manager is, you're doing a great job. Mold Sport Kitty does not give a fuck about your hotel. And that's a good thing. She wants to fight at the Siren Studio. But if you look at it, what happened was, when I walked by the fire department's hose, there's a big old fire hose out there, not like the connection. So in the morning on the way west, she alerted after we passed the construction site. And I think she alerted at the construction site, but it was like between the apartment building where there's like the library or whatever, not library, that it's just like that one little storefront across from whatever that restaurant is. And she alerted, I want to say right there, just briefly, but as soon as we got to Siren Studio, she wanted to fight. And what I mean by she wanted to fight, it's she's in protection mode. She is trying to protect from mold. Right? She's seen how I reacted to the spot in my apartment that has mold, and she wants to fucking fight the mold. So it's an earthy smell. She could definitely smell it. Right now she's on her alert. So it's coming, it's coming in from the floor somewhere. She's cleaning her paws, and right now she's trying to play with the parasite. Don't do that, kitty. But the scissors probably got mold on them because I had them in a basket full of art supplies. Art supplies are like oil based, some of them. So I got to clean that out. Now she's sharpening her nails because she's going to fight. But definitely, when we walk past Siren Studios, if you work at Siren Studios and you smell that funky shit, tell somebody to get that shit tested. And you guys need to start UV lighting. You need to start vacuuming, dusting, cleaning. I think it's like a storage space under the building is where it is. It's like in a garage or something. But their gate, if you're driving west, you cannot see into the building because their gate is like slanted. But if you're walking east, you can see through the slats. And when we walk east, she always is alerted. When we're going west, not so much. I think because the wind carries the dust west. So she will, if she alerts, she's going to alert like at the last end or after. But on the way back, she's ready to go. And I noticed today she got really kind of aggressive as we passed by the fire department's hose connection. So what that is, it doesn't look like there's a leak, But that would be a water source in the eyes of mold. So somewhere close to there, I think they need to go in and check and test. But mold's naturally occurring, so you can't really do shit about it, right? Unless you see it be fuzzy, unless you see dots spreading, there's not really shit you could do about it. And then where else will I say? There's a building. It's kind of like a modern building. It's right across from Netflix. The building that's right across from Netflix, I've seen that building. I know that they've had plumbing issues because I've seen a car hit their planter, and their planter has built-in plumbing. They had to repair that thing. And then there's a whole bunch of just like exposed outdoor pipes. And I think their pipes need to have someone go in and tighten them up or something. But because right there, Kitty comes out. Normally, what I'll say, Kitty doesn't care really for being outside unless we're on the bike. When we're on the bike, I can tell she enjoys it. And I'll tell you, if you ever see her and her tail's long and it's hanging long, she's relaxed. When she gets annoyed, her tail's gonna curl up, and I wouldn't say it's annoying. This is Kitty's baseline. Kitty's baseline is her head's tucked in, and she's like sleeping. It's pretty much she's sleeping on my chest when we're just walking. She'll put her head out. If I start dancing, she's gonna take her head out and be like, "Why the fuck are you dancing?" But the only other time she's come out, and it's only after I've noticed her as a detector cat, is when we're around areas, and then immediately I'll see, oh, well, there's a water source and it smells kind of funky. Pretty sure you got mold. So I'm letting Siren Studio know, well, you got a problem. Somebody in there knows it's mold. If they don't, now you do. Now all of Los Angeles does. Fix it. Don't be a problem. If you work there, take your shoes off when you get home. Make sure you do. Right? Just getting out of your car is enough to fucking move that shit into your house. So that's all I can say. For the building that's across from Netflix, you guys need to clean the exterior of your building. The reason the hotel doesn't get alerted on, they just repainted it, I think. They clean. They got a good cleaning crew. That building is clean. Panda Express, clean. Probably because somebody there knows that I went in there and they know the situation in my apartment. So they got like a leg up. But there's 2-3 open spots in that shopping center that are closed. Maybe they don't know. Right? You get me? So that's the reason why I like Panda Express. If you talk about that Panda itch, is because staff A1. I don't even have to talk. I can go in there. That's a place I don't even have to talk at all. Manager team, cook team, everybody team at Panda Express A1. If you work at that Panda Express, you're doing an awesome job. You should want to go work at that Panda. If you're looking for a job, you should want to go work there. And then I want to tell them, make sure you fire anybody's ass that doesn't want to work, because they're going to fuck your whole shit up. Right? So that's why when I walked by, I looked at their door. Door's clean. They washed the door. The handle where people's hands touch. People will grab on the door. There's germaphobes going to grab the door high. They're going to grab the door low. Like, their door's clean. I looked at it. When you look at the other place, I looked at another place. I don't know if it's a new restaurant that's coming or an old restaurant that closed down. But it's like a new sign I never seen before, but the door's locked. So it may be a new restaurant that's coming. You need to clean your door, and then you need to make sure you do a deep cleaning of your store before you open. Because that's how mold spreads so quickly. Mold is fucking serious. It's serious as shit. So let's get into the next topic of conversation. I gotta find my remote control so I can make sure I get this guy's name right. Hold on. Because I don't want to say somebody's name. I already said it wrong before. And hold on. It is, don't hate me, conspiracyers. Okay? Don't hate me. Non-conspirators. I am, you know how they used to have non sequitur? Don't be non-conspirator. Be conspirator with me. Listen. No, well, don't be a conspirator. Be conspiracy theorist with me, if you know what I'm saying. Oh my gosh, they drained the battery in my. Do I just need to get a new remote control? I might. I have to keep charging this shit because. Hold on a second. Because I don't want to get this guy's name wrong and then have people. But listen, Reckless Ben is a motherfucking pimp. And I don't know. I don't trust people. And I think that people can be sellouts sometimes. Sometimes people do shit for money. But at least I think he's in the right direction. When I first saw him, I thought it was real annoying how he went through the Scientology. Because I do believe in respecting people. I believe, I don't care what the fuck it is you're doing, right? If you're allowed to do it publicly, you obviously got enough supporters and shit. So, but it's funny. It's entertaining, and he's like me. He's like a light kid. He's enlightening people. He's doing a great job of using his white power for like white. What is it? What is it? What is the word I'm talking about? White privilege to expose motherfucking bullshit. Because the reason I think it's so funny and I laugh because I think I could never do that. They would arrest me immediately. He's able to get away with that shit. So I don't know if he's part of a conspiracy, like somebody's paying the bill for all the shit that he's exposed. Like, you know, somebody has a vendetta against somebody and they'll pay the bill for you to do all the whack shit because they need a fall guy since they don't want to lose all their shit. They're like, I'll pay for all your fucking legal shit. Just go do this. You know, I don't know if he's got a situation like that where he's able to. I think it's really neat that he's a young kid. He's similar to what's his name? The kid that Governor Newsom called slow fucking. Who's the kid? You know, the kid that like exposed fucking the fraud and shit. That kid is not slow, you idiot. That's a projection. You're calling him slow because you're mad. So the guy is I hope it says his name. Peter S. It's Peter S. So listen. How do you clean up mold? Do you know how you clean up mold? If you're on here and you're able to put it in the comments, tell me what you think the first step of cleaning up just like a small patch of mold is in your house. Just put it in the comments and we're going to talk about it. Because I've done quite a bit of research, not that I needed to or wanted to. Thank you, Dave. Correct. Vinegar is probably your best hope if you discover a small patch of mold on a non-porous item. On a porous item. Non-porous, you can use bleach, but I avoid bleach. I have a dermatitis. So bleach I use for like white clothes, or I don't know. We used to use bleach at Western Bagel to clean the it's part of food health and safety. We used to use bleach to clean all the cutting surfaces and shit. And oh my gosh, we gotta skip commercials. Oh, the guy that runs the air doctor thing, what is his name? They used to be very high up in this company, and the only reason this company exists is to fund the world. Just listen for a second. Trafficking ring ever. So I asked them if they'd be down to get on a call with me. Is it Interpol's most wanted? It's very animated. I think that some of this is like for Hollywood entertainment, obviously. But no, and I called the FBI and I said, I found them. I can tell you the story that would make your head fucking fly. Hi, England. How you doing? This remain anonymous, but this woman, Myra, is an ex-employee of this company. Can you hear what I'm playing? It's Reckless Ben. The video is called "Exposing the Largest Human Trafficking Ring in the World." Who used to work right underneath the CEO. Peter Spiegel. I'm the founder. Spiegel. Peter Spiegel. Right? I don't know how many more. He released it 9 hours ago. You got 31 hours or something, whatever. He said he gave you 40, he giving you 48 hours. You got 39 hours to reply now. Wait, no, did I do my math right? He gave you 48. It's been 9. Yeah. You got 38 hours to reply now, or else. I don't know if you seen what Reckless Ben did to the fucking bricks and minifigures people, but he dragged their asses. Um so Peter Spiegel, I don't know you from this, that, or the other, but with what I've been talking about with, as far as like the mold in my apartment, the company not doing anything about it, possibly even adding to it, making it worse, but trying to make it look like it's coming from my apartment. Like, I walked through the hallway today on the way back and I came in from the front, and they cleaned the front up enough, like in front of the apartment that used to look like it was the sales point for whatever drugs it is. They cleaned the carpet up enough so it looks clean. But I know in 2 or 3 days that shit's gonna be back to black and slimy. But just for, I guess, when I had the health inspector come for my apartment, they cleaned that place up enough, and it almost makes my hallway used to look the cleanest out of every single hallway in this building. And they cleaned up that hallway enough, they cleaned up the middle hallway enough to make it look and appear like they are not the issue. So that's what gives me the idea that they're trying to make it look like it's coming from my apartment. If you look, I still have all my stuff. So it's not from in here. And like, if you look, that apartment has a lockbox on it. But anyways, here nor there. I'm just letting you know, making sure everyone knows it's not from inside my apartment. Spores are everywhere. Spores are here. Spores are there. Spores come from the subfloor. Spores are coming from the vent that they put in my bathroom after flooding it 4 times this year, in the last year. So definitely they're trying to make it look like it's coming from my apartment, but everybody else got it except for me. Isn't that funny? I don't wear shoes in my house. That's why I tell you, Siren Studio, if you work there, take your shoes off. You might even want to take them off before you get in your car. Right? Keep a pair of car shoes. That's what driving shoes is for. Right? We're going back to old days. We're old people now. Little kids don't understand. You walk in your parents' house. Ooh, could not walk in my mom's house with my shoes on. That's why they put tile at the front. It's easier to clean than a motherfucking carpet. Right? So clean your shit. Take your shoes off. But anyway, what was I saying? This guy is the owner, whatever, CEO of Air Doctor, the purifier company. So in addition to vinegar, Dave, vinegar kills the living mold. Vinegar kills the roots. The reason I use vinegar is to stop the roots from rooting. So if you were to find yourself in a situation where you see mold that has not yet rooted or attached itself to something porous, putting vinegar on it, the best thing you can do is going to stop the mold from growing and keep it from its roots attaching, and it will reach in and kill whatever roots that are there. If you use bleach, you're going to damage the color of whatever it is. You're going to make it white. If it's white, it's going to be white. But the excess water, the byproduct, the waste from killing the mold is going to go down into the roots. You're feeding a plant now. You're now growing a plant. So that's why you don't use bleach. Bleach is good for surface mold only. So, like, if you have a bleach spray, you'll take care of it. Bleach wipe, we'll wipe it off. It hasn't rooted yet. It hasn't grown, it hasn't rooted. You know what keeps it from rooting? UV light. So if you open your windows, you might get mold spores in your apartment, but the UV light also is strong enough to kill them. So that's, like, UV is so important. That's why when I walk by a parking structure, little mold spore kitty doesn't alert, because it's open air parking structure that gets sun on all sides all throughout the day. So little kitty, even though there's a water fixture out in front, she's not alerting on the parking structure. She's alerting on the buildings that have closed doors and leaky pipes. I'm so proud of that hotel. You don't even know. High five, hotel. only Kitty tucks herself in. She said, "I don't even need to look at you." Little, but there's another hotel. I don't want to talk about them because I already know one of the people that work in the. I don't know them, but I heard them talking about me not in a nice way before, so I will leave them out of it. You stay out of it, but I'll just let you know. Despite you washing the sidewalk in front of your diner, little Kitty alerted on your building. So you might want to go and see if you could maybe get some of the people from the other hotel to moonlight. They're not going to lose their job. Those people's jobs safe forever. Um, so yeah, that's just 2 hotels on Sunset. I just told you the better one to get. Um, and then let's see what else. So what else do you need to clean it? Air filters. That's if I don't run my air filter, what happens is like I had to clean my fan off, right? I cleaned every single blade. I cleaned the top. I cleaned the bottom. I cleaned it with vinegar because I want to, if I clean it with water and I hit some of those spores and they go down and they stay humid enough, I don't know if they're going to replicate, make more, it's going to make it worse. Cleaning it with vinegar makes me feel better because I know it's destroying the structure of the mold. Ideally, I want to get one of those big ass UV lights and just anytime I'm not in here, just run the fucking UV light. I want to open stuff up a little bit more so that the light hits every single surface, so that when I do go in and clean, I could clean hard and not worry about the dust going up in the air and spreading. Because if you've ever, like, I don't know if you've looked and noticed how microscopic dust can be, but if you're, like, when I was cleaning my ceiling fan, just moving some of the dust, all the little tiny particles that fall, I had to vacuum my couch, right after I cleaned the fan. So it's like that. And you want to be running an air purifier. Ooh, guess who is the CEO of the air purifier company? Air Doctor, whatever the thing is. So I did not buy anything from him. I bought HEPA filter material to put on the back of my fans because I would rather have HEPA filter material that's really easy to throw away than to buy a consumable from somebody who is now being named, if they do not respond, as the largest human trafficking ring in the world. For entertainment purposes only. Right? So I wonder what he's going to say. But Reckless Ben is motherfucking, he does not care. I wonder if he's on the spectrum. Because he's thinking way outside the box. He sent a burrito there so he could get in this is how social engineering works, guys. He sent a burrito to Reckless Ben so he could get inside the building and see. He was trying to set up a meeting with the guy. Imagine, oh my gosh, they were so pissed. I knew they were going to. They fired the one security guard, probably most likely. They had a new security guard the next day and a picture of Ben at the front desk. So make sure you do your job correctly, right? Security guard should have called up and said, "Hey, did you order a burrito?" Instead of just letting his ass up. It's not my problem. Reckless Ben just spam fished a motherfucker in real life. Spammed him. Real life. Boom. Oh, social engineering failure. Now he's in the building. He got past your lock system. The security guard let his ass up. That's why you lost your job. So, yeah, that shit's crazy as fuck. But anyways, here nor there, Ben got in the building. I think he was able to get in the building even a second time. And try to make the guy talk to him. He just bought a little burrito. Who doesn't like to eat? So I don't know how much of it is acting or what, but everybody seems to know. And we'll see where this goes. But it adds to what I believe is New World Order shit. This guy is CEO of an air purification company. If he's buddies with the rental management company at my apartment, it's at least 30 apartments here that are adding to his pockets, because maybe it's not going to be the poor people over here that's buying the air doctor, but you could damn sure fucking believe every single office, every single fucking person with a means is buying air filters, whether it be from him or not. Right now, what you got to do is fucking air filters if you want. Have you ever seen what it looks like if you don't start cleaning the mold? Everything's going to start looking dingy. Everything, it might be clean, but everything's going to have like a brown or black tint to it. Everything's going to start looking gray. 50 Shades of Grey, maybe? I never read the book. I was never interested in that. That was way too sexual for me. Right? Just hearing about it, I'm like, I don't want to read that. I lived that shit. Yeah, I didn't need to. So, Dyson, as expensive as a Dyson is, and of course you can find another one, like Shark Ninja probably got a good one. I can't attest to the longevity of a Shark Ninja though, but I can tell you Dyson's gonna last you 10 years good. Dyson will last you 10 years good. Even with heavy wear and tear and use, Dyson's gonna last you a good 10 years. So don't ever regret getting a Dyson. I don't know about those headphones though. They made some, maybe I will, on Woot. They had them on clearance for like $100, $700 headphones with air purifiers in it. Can you believe it? A pair of headphones with air purifiers in it, and it was nobody buying it. Now I think I want that shit. Put your headphones on and just wear the air purifier. That's how you walk through looking like Tron or whatever, some kind of robot, but it'll be all right. We'll be all right. But right now, I want to show you, if you've seen these air filters on the back of my air conditioner, you'll be like, that's 2 weeks. It is 2 weeks, and it's probably already time to change it. And it recommends changing every 3 to 6 months. So that's what I mean by mold is brown black. That shit's not dust. Dust is going to be grayish color, right? White, gray. You think about, when you think, well, there's also different colors of mold, so it really could be anything. But you need, right now, Dyson's going to make a lot of money. This air doctor guy, I think he's going to make a lot of money. Especially West Hollywood. West Hollywood, what everybody go out and get? Air purifiers and motherfucking shit to dry their houses out. I wonder if he's seen a rise in his quarterly earnings. When you think about the big picture, everything is about quarterly earnings. What does that pay for? I don't know. I'm not making any accusations. I'll let Reckless Ben do that. I'm happy he is. He went to the Church of Scientology. He went to this guy's, like, they're building a new something or other, and it's pretty interesting. He is exposing these people who think that they're just untouchable, right? So I wonder, man, Ben, you're fucking crazy. I don't want to keep talking about this shit, because it's like, being a minority, the first thing they want to do is put you in a mental institution or a jail cell. So thank you, Ben, and thank you, whoever the other guy is. Even though you blame Somalians, it might be some Somalians. That irritated me a little bit, but I could see where you're coming from. There are criminals out there of all shapes and sizes. It's not just Somalians. And there are also honest Somalians, and a Somalian will show up at your door if you talk about them. So I think that was a risky move. But I'm not shaming you for it. I think that you have the right direction. So just criminals, watch out. It's a bunch of kids out there now these days that's way crazier than me. That's the butterfly effect. I'm glad we can get there. I'm glad we're there. It's like, if you're gonna get in trouble before you, I don't know how old these people are. I think a lot of them are over 18. But if you're gonna get in trouble before you're 18, how would it be for motherfucking uncovering child trafficking ring, so that you don't ever have to be a part of it, and you don't have to keep hearing about it, so that you can have kids and not have to worry about somebody exploiting their pictures on the internet, right? So it's our youth. Like I was telling you, it's the 13-year-old gangsters that's gonna fuck your shit up. It's not gonna be a 50-year-old that's already been in and out of prison, on parole 10 times. It might be, but it's more likely to be a 13-year-old that's gonna fuck your shit up, because you know why? They get a second chance. Why do you think they hire young G's, employ them, have them? Those are the ones that get a second chance, right? They may fuck up their life completely on the first go, but when they're under 18, that's the hierarchy of a gang. OG is gonna sit at home and watch the shit. Make sure the OG is gonna be the one on the radio. It's like right? OG's flipping birds. So that's the difference of a fucking you know, it's not going to be a gang war. It is, if you're talking about a gang war, what gang are we up against? Pedophiles? I don't consider that a gang. I consider that something that needs to be eliminated. Right? If you're like, inside of each gang, there's people who dislike pedophiles too. Because they have kids and shit. Right? Their kids is talented. They don't want their kids to be fucking trafficked. So, within, right? Or if they're the ones doing it, they are the ones who want to be doing it. They don't want you to fucking get your hands on their fucking kids and shit. So, there are people out there who care. I do think so. In every place, everywhere you go. But like I said, it's those kids, right? If I'm still living with the same mentality that I had when I was 13, I'm one of those kids still. Right? That's what autism will do. It makes you feel younger than you really are. Look at how funny that looks too when I do that. I look like I'm special when I do like this. My eyeballs and shit. People making fun of the eyeball thing. I don't think it does it so much with the contacts on. When I wear my glasses though, my eyeballs are like woo 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 woo. Oh my gosh. Gregory, are you a photographer? Did we go to the LA Auto Show one year together, and are you one of these people I just met outside and was like, oh, you got a camera? I got a camera. You want to take a picture? I want to take a picture. Special interest ass. Not you. Gregory, I forgot his last name. Dope photographer. It's nice to meet people out in the wild, especially when you're special interested. What else? There's other things I want to finish watching that video because I didn't get all the way through it. I had to stop and be like, oh my gosh. Is it real? Because that's the other thing. I'm like, I got to get an air purifier. No, I don't. Air purifier material is perfectly fine. Just throw that shit away. You got enough fans. You don't got no more space. Just put that fucking shit on there. Oh, the air scrubber. But it's the whole cleaning part. There's these barnacle things that I can get for my ceiling fan. And they scrub the air. So anything in the air is 24/7 just scrubbing the air. So it's so amazing. Life is amazing. And what else I want to say? Imagine being in a position where you're like, I don't know if these people like me or they don't. Well, if they didn't like you, they wouldn't spend so much time following your ass around, right? It's a lot easier to talk about somebody behind their back than to go stand in front of them, right? I can feel even when the hair on my leg rises. Like, quite literally, they're long right now too, but I could feel it. Man, being on my period sucks. It's the worst. I don't even want to talk about this, but I'll talk about it just in case it really is going on. Supposedly, so I was talking to AI today because I've had like this extra long period. And it's not, I don't think it's really extra long period, and I don't think it's perimenopause. I think that these people have known that they have had mold, and it is from VOCs from cleaning supplies. So I don't know what they're using for cleaning supplies. I don't know if it's from the drug manufacturing process. Uh, because I was asking if, I know if you get too close to people who are on hormones, it can affect you. I don't know if it's able to affect you through like apartment walls and windows. Um, my air conditioner creates, I've said this before, it creates a, what is it? Negative vacuum or whatever. So it's sucking all the air out, which means any opening, any small opening is going to be sucking air in. So if you're talking about social engineering, the hole in my bathroom ceiling mixed along with the air conditioner is sucking mold spores in from in the bathroom. That's why I have the UV light in the bathroom. Speaking of, I gotta run it. Pretty much anytime I'm running my air conditioner, I gotta run the UV lights. One by my front door probably, so that because the insulation was removed, so now all around my front door there are gaps in the air that allow the outside air to flow in a little bit more easily. The holy space that's created in my bathroom, that's a direct, there I know there's black mold in there. I seen it. Whatchamacallit, within my kitchen on the subfloor, that's another part. I would like to get like baseboard UV lights. I don't know. I don't want to buy anything else, but UV lights really work. They really do. Because I waited here for like a month for the inspector to come and do the inspection. I was told not to clean. And then she's here, and I was thinking it's going to be so much worse. And she's just like, nope. If I could wipe it up with the wipe, it's not anything that's really real. So, okay, well, I guess I'll be calling you back in a few months or something. We're just hanging out. I feel a little bit more safe now that she came. Now that I seen her clean it, because I would have cleaned it already, but as soon as I saw it, I said, oh my gosh, that's mold. And then hypochondria set in. And then everything. I'm looking at myself, oh my gosh, is that something on me? Everything. But I'm looking at my kitty's house, and given what I said about once everything gets moldy, it becomes kind of gray. My kitty's house is still pretty neutral colored. So, right? And it's made out of MDF wood. MDF wood's going to get moldy quick. So, yeah, kitty's house. So for my kitty's house, there's no carpet on it. It's just sisal rope and wood, MDF wood. So each and every surface can be wiped completely. I don't know how people get those carpet kitty houses. That's kind of gross, no? That's the shit that makes your apartment nasty. Ugh. Yep, nope. So, my kitty's laying right next to me. You want to see where her little fat ass is? Here, let me show you. She's looking all fat. Look at my couch. There's no mold on it or anything. Maybe that's mold. Don't think so. Oh, scared her. I don't think so. I'm gonna go back in with some vinegar, maybe. But if you're looking, that's original hardwood floor, probably from 80 years ago, maybe. I don't know if it's that old. But when I moved in, you should have seen how nice this shit was. Like shiny. They had just refinished it. Restained and refinished it. Oh, she gotta clean herself. All these little cracks between the boards was filled in. This 11 years of walking on this floor, still all right. I prefer this way over that other stuff. She is cute. Thank you. A little motor. Look, anger. Anger. I woke her ass up. You know what's the opposite of airplane ears? Motherfucking bull ears. Bull ears is like ready to attack. Airplane ears is, oh, fuck you. Oh my gosh. Here. No. Not you. Did you see how cute she is? Um, I watched the police commissioner hearing today. I think it was from Tuesday. The last one was on Tuesday. I told you, they're really telling the commissioners, fuck you. Well, somebody said it was funny as fuck. They probably wanted to say that for a long time. But I do think that you have to remain respectful. Maybe people are really fed up. Like the officer that got in trouble for being a whistleblower, they had to take that back. You know why? Because I'm going to talk about so much shit until you guys take it back. Because they're doing the same shit to him as they're doing to me. So you can't put innocent people in jail. Right? He got fed up to the point where that's a good officer to go up against so much shit with so many consequences and just be like, no, you know what? I really don't think it's appropriate. And then they started saying some of the comments, like they were talking about, I don't know exactly what was Hispanics, Latino, which one, and how many tacos they eat and shit like that. Like, you might not think that, like, you guys all need to go through your racial discrimination, sexual harassment training again. It was little comments. Even things I remember, even things is like saying someone's name correctly, like a cultural name or a name that you don't know how to pronounce because of the country of origin that it comes from. Like, that type of shit, you guys got to be more sensitive about that. It's completely disrespectful, and you don't know how hard a person's had it in life with that shit, right? Like somebody with a name, you know, people be like, well, why don't they use a nickname? Or, no, fuck you. That's the name their parents gave them. Maybe they had a good relationship with their parents and they don't need a nickname. You know, that's where that shit comes from. Maybe their parents told them, like, no matter what, like, 10 toes down. This is funny. It's a thing called code switching, and they do. Most do and are able to. Most black people that have jobs are able to. Oh my gosh, you're crazy. Here, I wish I could post both of those because you sound crazy. Most black people do a thing called code switching, where if they work in white America, they are able to make themselves acceptable for white people to handle or understand. If I spoke, I came where I grew up. I grew up in a place that's like Jewish America. I went to so many bar and bat mitzvahs I could recite the Torah. Baruch Adonai Yadonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu. Do you want to? I got to. So Eloheinu. Now drink your kefir or whatever. You know? Your offering. So that's why if I grew up in where I was born at, I would speak differently, I think. If I grew up in a school that I should have went to. When I say should have went to, I mean I should have gone to an inner city LAUSD school where I had to share a book with somebody. That's the school I should have gone to. And the reason I say that, simply because I experienced a lot of racial discrimination at the school that I went to, and I just brushed it off. I didn't even think about it, didn't know about it, didn't know what it was until today. Right? Going through these things and realizing, like, looking back at photos, and I am the outcast. Right? Sometimes I'm in the middle of the photo just because. Sometimes it felt awkward, like, why does everybody want to be around me? Other times it felt like, oh man, I think they might have put something in my drink. So if I had gone to a school with other people who looked like me, I might not be so adamant about criminal justice, making sure people who do fucked up shit get it, right? I don't need them to get what they did back. I need them to get to understand what it is that they did. Because I don't think revenge is best. I think it's better to let them fuck themselves up. Because why would I want to waste my energy on you? That Kitty said, amen. Why would I want to waste energy? It takes time out, and that's what people are thinking. They want me, like your comments right now. I can understand where you're coming from a little bit, right? I don't understand the they hate themselves part, because I don't think anybody hates themselves. Right. It but they have to understand that it's coming from a place of wanting improvement and not racism. Right? I don't like stereotypes because stereotypes become racism. So, that's why I say I understand you, but when you say things like they hate themselves, that makes me think of stereotypes, and that makes me think that you're saying that it's like that for all black people. All black people are not the same. Like, I'm half black, I'm half Japanese, so my experience is different than someone who's full black. Someone who's full black, I would never even say that they hate themselves, because black, 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 black. I love being black. That's it. Black people don't even have to deal with you if they don't want to. So it's not that they hate themselves. I think that there's a lot of, I would say, if we want to be stereotypical, and if you want to bring racism into it, I would say there's a lot of white women who dislike themselves, right? They see black women, like if you look at white women who get big old fat booties, what does that tell you about how they feel about themselves? Cultural appropriation. So I can understand. That's why I say I can understand what you're saying, but I think it's a little bit fucked up. But my example is more so women will change themselves for a man, whether they like themselves or not. A woman might like herself perfectly fine, but because she wants to fit in, or she wants a certain man and that's who he's attracted to, she's gonna go try to make her lips look like mine. And then my lips are the only reason I could walk around with my teeth looking like this. If I had little thin lips, I would have got my teeth fixed a long ass time ago. If I was thin lipped, if I had to walk around like this, I would have gotten my teeth fixed a long time ago. But because my upper lip is big enough to cover that shit up, I don't care. No, I can't say a particular race. I think that everyone has their biases, and when you start using like racial slang and slurs, like the first one I can think of right now, it's a slur, and it's a lot of Hispanic people would hate me, but I don't use that word. It's not ever my intention to use that word, but I remember thinking it one time when there was a parking guy who was playing this game, and I waved to them every fucking day, right? I love Mexicans, I love Hispanics, but for the simple fact that this person tried to cut me with a comment, the first thing that came out of my brain, my thoughts, it was a racial slur against Latino people. And that's where you have to get in touch with your racial biases. Where did I even learn that word? I think of like the cleaner, ick and span clean, right? That's, and then that goes more towards me believing that they are cleaner than Americans, right? I don't think of that as a, so when, if you are Hispanic or Latino, just let them know, bitch, I'm cleaner than you. If anybody ever, it's like someone calling you the N-word, be like, I'm glad you recognized my greatness. So before you chat, consider if you wouldn't say it to you can say anything to me because my mom, my mama, she taught me. She taught me better than to be offended by something somebody says. What I like to do, I like to break it down, and we're going to go for the root. Just like how we're attacking mold, we're getting rid of mold. We are. No. I've mentioned before, I was friends with a neo-Nazi, and we didn't, it's not colorblind. You have to recognize people's history, where they come from. It's more understanding. It's like I don't know if you were here for the great conversation I had with a transvestite. Um, but it's a understanding. It's a learning, right? People might think that you just because of a look that your face makes, they don't understand. That's confusion. Like you're trying to figure something out. It's not a dislike. It's like a damn. How come you could do that? Oh, I see what you're saying, but I'm not entertaining this troll. I'm letting trolls know that they don't got it. They're not gonna. I think I've always been able to eliminate trolls from my page. They stop. They stop. I don't. I've never had a day where they just keep continuing and continuing. I'll end the chat if somebody wants to keep continuing because that is draining. Um, you can. The only person that looks bad is you. Especially that's why I like pinning comments. When somebody says a real nasty comment, I'll pin that shit so everybody can see who said it. Because you're the one that's got to walk around remembering what it is that you said. Right? And then anybody who knows you or sees you in the event that some shit happens to me and I die and Law and Crime goes and looks your profile up, like, that's you, boo. You the racist one. So I'm also not here for the viewers. I was just surprised. I was surprised to see I got 22 new followers last night. I don't know if anybody knows. I started with one follower, and that was my mama. And I made it to here. I can't imagine having more, right? But they happen. I get off, and it's like 20 more people follow. I said, ooh. Oh, that whole MAGA thing. Can we talk about that? Um, Make America great again. Well, what is America? America is a stew pot of everybody. So if you were to make America great again, that means you would need to bring more slaves. You would need to let the people that you don't want to let across the border, right? That's how you make America great again. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait for everybody. Like, if you're coming, okay. Oh, and there's two MAGAs. There's wealthy MAGA, and there's broke MAGA. And broke MAGA is the gutter. Wealthy MAGA thinks they control everything. You know who really controls everything? The people that you hate, minorities, the majority. Right? If you guys are swearing, if MAGA is swearing to be like the 1%, 2%, or whatever, I am actually 1 or 2%. I am GATE student. If you are the 1 or 2% as far as wealth is concerned, if everybody left your ass alone, you wouldn't have any money. You wouldn't have anybody to clean your house. Oh, we could talk about the Twin Towers. Let's talk about the Twin Towers. That's a good one. You brought up a good one. Sandra, where are you in my head today? So listen. See, look, here we got the good trolls. Anyway, Sandra, let's talk about that. Twin Towers. My mom worked in the Twin Towers, okay? Just today, I was thinking about, my breath does stink. Just today, I was thinking about going to school on the day that the Twin Towers collapsed. And I was listening. I was late to class. I sat in my car. I parked the car right outside the school. And I just sat there for like an hour listening to the shit. Right? Hearing, oh my gosh, people jumped out the building. And then I started thinking, My mom worked in the one, I think, with the antenna on it, and 89th floor or something, high as fuck up. The building used to go like this while you're in it. It was painful to look down because it was so far down. So I understand when people jumped out that shit. I started thinking, well, what would I do if I was in that situation? What would you do? Would you sit still and wait to see if you're going to survive? Or would you assume that it's the end? And then I wanted to look up how many people got pulled out of the rubble and survived. How many survivors were there? So it goes to say, like, would you sit and wait and see? Or would you just like take a leap of faith? Because that leap of faith is certain death. But you're not going to sit there for 3 days in pain. Right. Sitting there, just listening. Oh my gosh. Listening to that shit. And then hearing, like, what is it? President Bush reading the book to the class. Oh, okay. You want to get me to talk about Lutnick? Let's talk about it. Okay, so let's talk about it. So, my mom used to work there. And if we didn't move to California, my mom would have, no, she wouldn't have, because her company moved out the building before that happened. But imagine, just hypothetically, if her company didn't move out that building, my mom would have been one of the people going into work that day. She didn't get a call. She wouldn't have gotten a call from Hillary Clinton or whoever it was. However, whoever gave him the heads up to go get your kids. Go get your kid. You got to take your kids to school. Whatever it was that he was doing. It makes me think that some people have access to special information, and some things are designed to cause mass casualty. Right? Who sent them into the plane? Did we really even figure it out? Was that something that America created? Was that something that another country came and did to America because we got everybody over here trying to make it great again, being a dickhead? Right? Imagine. I'm not worldly. I haven't traveled. I've been to Mexico and Canada. So I'm not causing beef. I'm not trying to cause beef with any of them. Right? Everybody, you can say, if you want to say something bad about everybody, you could go around saying bad things about everybody. You could think bad things about everybody. But if you just realize that everybody's a human, everybody was born from a mom, most people, I want to say, 1,800 survived. That's a good amount of people. So you might have had a good chance. How many died, though? You might have had a good... I just remember watching the video from the apartment building across, and then seeing people take a head dive out the building. Right? Like, if you're above a certain floor, firefighters' ladders do not go up to the 89th floor. Firefighters' ladders go up to, like, the 6th floor. If you go up to the 6th floor, you maybe have a chance of survival. Maybe. Right? Building's going to crumble around you whole. Everything's going to get leveled. You might just be in a part that is okay. But if you're on the 90th floor and it hit at the 89th floor, whatever, it's not likely that you're going to make it out. What are you going to do? You're going to sit there and burn alive, or are you just going to go? No parachute. Enjoy that last ride. Right? Think about, that's food for thought. That's food for the mold to eat. Right? So right now, if we consider the mold in my apartment to be an epidemic, I'm Hillary Clinton right now calling Howard Lutnick saying, get your shit cleaned up because it's about to get worse. You hear my kitty? She said, hello. So get your shit cleaned up. You might think you're clean. That's not mold. I mean, that's not dust. That's mold. I want to make a shirt. That's moho. That's not dust. That's moho. What a way to change the conversation. That's not dust. That's mojo. Learn Spanish. You never know when you're going to need it. Learn Spanish. Open the borders. Learn Spanish. Open the borders. You want to make America great again? Drive competitive wage earning. Let them come here. You mad because they're going to take all your fucking jobs? Really? Let them come here. I'm not mad. I know I work hard. Right? I'm not mad if one of them becomes my boss because they would have had to work fucking harder than me. So let them come here. We need to change immigration. Right? It's like, don't get me wrong. I love being an American. They're fake. My eyes are fake as contacts. Don't be fooled. It's like cosmetic stuff. It was a powerful symbol of America. Think about how many other powerful symbols that's why I say tomorrow's promised to nobody. Every day that you go out, you might be on a bus that's on a major freeway. You might be going to a sporting event, right? I don't care for any of that shit. I'm not really a fan of being around people. So, it is that people couldn't avoid it. They have to go to work, right? Like, you can't just be like, oh, you can, if you have intuition. I want to know really so much about Howard Lutnick and all of that shit. How come he missed it? Because he was supposed to be in that building that day. So, what are his... Right. Were you watching on the TV? I was listening on the radio. You were watching on the TV. Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. I had to pull the fuck over. What does that say? Yeah. It was intense. So, that's all. I just think it would be crazy if he had a heads up that many people were about to die. That would be insane. So that's what I'm telling you about this fucking mole. There's no joke, bitch. Not bitch, respectfully. I have to stop saying bitch because I realize it creates a whole nother path I don't need to go down. Bitch is my favorite word, like Too Short said, but not everybody's perspective of it is the same and they can't handle it in the same way. So I really have to reserve that for people I actually know. Can't walk around because if it gets taken out of context, it's just not a good thing. But imagine being so lucky as to get a heads up. Like, what do you have to be? Who do you have to be to get a heads up like that? And then how do you feel every year of your life afterwards knowing that many people died? It makes you feel good? That's crazy. Every day, if I got a call from somebody that said, "Oh, go get your kids," or whatever, you know. But sometimes, there's people that worked in that building that spilled their coffee on their way to work, and they were late, so they missed it. They just got to see everything around them crumble. So don't ever be mad at shit. Like, don't be mad. Shit happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. That's one of the things that makes me most upset, but I also have to realize, like, that's God. That's God. And if you go forth, like, say you go forth after that spill and then something bad really happens, then you just fucked your own day up. Right? So if you just allow the spill to happen, clean it up, and carry on your way, you don't have to associate negative feelings with events. So maybe he's perfectly fine and he doesn't think about it. But similar to like Palisades fire, I wonder how many people were told, oh, you might want to put your clothes in that storage unit and take them to the dry cleaner because somebody said they're clearing land for the new real estate, right? The lady, it's the second time I seen it. Ringe, the Ringe lady who used to own all the Malibu oceanfront property. She fought long and hard to keep people out of it, right? Everybody want to say, like, of course people wanted to go there. They wanted to expand. They wanted to put their feet in the water on the ocean. And she was like, this is mine, and I got armed guards. I got more money than your ass. And she spent all her money defending her property. And then eventually she had to she ran out of money, and she had to start allowing people to live there. And that's how we got Malibu. So that's also why Malibu burned. I don't know. You can't, you can and you can't predict how fire's going to move. Right. It's going to be crazy. That's why I'm on here on the live all the time. You're going to hear all my last thoughts up until, because you never know. And I just need everybody who does know to know that I'm of clear mind, sight, body, soul, spirit, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. As things continue to happen and go on, like any day, oh, and I want to wipe my eye, but I don't want it to get more swollen. But any day that you walk outside your door, someone could put a red dot on your head. I talk about so much shit that a certain group of people doesn't want me to talk about, but I've learned a little bit what they. So it's a group of narcissists, and I'm gonna tell them. I'll tell them to their face if they need me to. Narcissists don't have the ability to self-recognize. Some do. I have narcissistic tendencies. I can self-recognize, but I'm also an empath. So I'm like doubly dark, but light being, right? Because if you've been around narcissists enough, they try to force you to feel that way. They try to bring you down to their level. And I say bring you down because that's where they are. They're closer to hell. So as a light being, where's the sun? The sun is up, is in the universe, it's in the sky, is up. So I think that being on earth is like a purgatory. It's a good medium for me. And I have to remember that I want to go up, not down. Right? But what goes up must come down. If you're thinking about like science and logic and the physiology or whatever it is. So it is good to stay grounded. I don't necessarily care to be underground though. Right? Leans towards like burying my body. Nope, I don't really want to be in the ground. That's when bugs is gonna come and get you. That's when in the ground is just kind of nasty. Grave diggers, robbers, snatch, all that weirdo shit. Just get rid of it all the way. Like, there's no reason. Maybe plant food. I got my grandpa. He's plant food right now. I was supposed to go take him to Atlantic City, and then the Trump Hotel. My grandpa, funny thing, right? Grandpa, full black man. He was adopted. He's military engineer, electrical engineer. Oh shit! I might have broke something. Electrical engineer in the military. So when he was in World War II, he got to ride on the tank. He wasn't necessarily out there shooting a gun, right? Intelligence. He was able to be part of the intelligence side of it, not the brute force side of it. And in his 20s, I think it's his 20s, late teens, early 20s, he was adopted by a judge, a white judge, McCarter, not judge, lawyer. At the time he was a lawyer, he may have become a judge. McCarter, I can't think of the first name, Henry McCarter, I don't know. But if you look back into the history of McCarters, there is a McCarter, like, there's like, in New Jersey, there's a school of feeble-minded people. They've been doing MK Ultra experiments on people that are similar to me for their whole entire life. My whole entire life, decades. centuries. So, my dad used to always tell me using foul language is a feeble mind trying to express itself forcefully. So that's why I don't want to. I have a side of me that cusses like a sailor because I can't get the words out. You're just like, ah. And so if I start cussing, that that is me on my way. That's why people think they can make me violent or angry, because uh I'm not enunciating my words. I stopped caring about communicating, and it's just become fuck this, fuck that, fuck this, fuck that. So what I saw at the police commissioners meeting today, there was one lady who was really respectful, and her point wasn't made so clearly though. That's the difference. The and I wanted to call her a bitch, but respectfully, the lady who told them fuck you is the one that they're going to remember, and they're going to act on that one. Right? Because they're like, she said fuck you. They're going to talk about it at dinner, and then they're going to go look her up, and then they're going to go see what her grievance is. They may not do shit about it, but at least you know that they looked at it. Whereas the really nice, polite lady who didn't use any feeble-minded, forceful words, you don't know if they really heard her. But I know everybody heard the lady who said, fuck you, right? Just pissed off with the fuck you. And that was the most amazing part of watching that meeting. That made me want to go down to a meeting and see if I can contain myself. I gotta look those people up. Who are they? Tell me if you can. Um, but I would like to. I want to see if I could contain my foul language and be able to communicate my point. But I don't need to talk about the confidential informant program anymore. After seeing the message today from the gang stalker simulation guy, it let me know that there's other people experiencing the exact same thing as me, and he was just able to get a better video of it. But that's what they want. They want, so in his video, it's very clear for, I would say, targeted individuals mostly. If you're not targeted, it's going to look like a regular day, and maybe people just like the color red. But as a targeted individual, you're going to recognize it because you will have spent the whole day, like if you even attempt to go outside, you will have spent the whole day dodging people all wearing red. And it has nothing to do with gangs. They want you to think that it has something to do with gangs, so then you can come and get on your YouTube live or write in your journal and be like, it was a gang that stalked me today. Yeah, some of them may be, but if you've ever seen some of the videos on gang stalker, I've seen this one guy who's like, yeah, I look like a gangster, right? But I go to church. Like, it's not what you think it is. Like, they're told those are actors. So I wonder if red has anything to do with like a state of the nation. Like, does red mean we're on high alert? Because yellow, orange is the colors that come right before red, right? Well, after. But if you're looking at it shade-wise, it goes yellow, orange, red. But it really goes red, orange, yellow. So are we escalating or are we de-escalating? Because if what I remember brown to be, brown is grounded. When I wear my tiger's eye earrings, there's really no way you can fuck with me because I'm completely grounded. They're brown. Brown is grounded. Brown is also orange. Orange is also yellow. Is yellow red? No. Red, orange is red. So color theory, those colors are all next to each other on a color wheel. Orange being both yellow and red. Orange being part of brown. I think we want to be in an orange state. I think orange is neutral. Orange or brown. We want to be in an orange or brown state. We want to be neutral. Red, just the color red, if you think about it, look at the flowers in the back, all that shit. It's very attention grabbing. It's very aggressive. I don't wear red. Yeah, that's nasty. For what? I don't wear red because I'm powerful as it is enough alone. I do not need the reinforcement of the color red to back up how strong my voice is, how strong I am physically. I don't need that. That makes me more intimidating. I don't want it. I live in an area where there are gangs. I don't want to be associated with the gang. And I think that just by going to work and wearing a work navy blue, that people thought that I had associations. Navy blue is a work appropriate color. One of the things I'm always thinking about when I see people like, oh, they're work appropriate. So I have zero associations, one side or the other, none. And it's not it's funny to see people try to make it look like I hang out with them and they appear like they do have, like I seen this. Oh, that's another thing I want to say. Okay. So in my experience with the gang stalking, some of the people I've come across, based on their clothing alone, makes me believe that they're hired. I'm going to try to make, my kitty's eating. It's making me hungry too. So I'm going to get some food right now. But I'll keep talking. Some of the clothing that my stalkers, yeah, finish your food, kitty. Oh, you did. You're good. Some of the clothing that my stalkers wear, I gotta stop calling them stalkers because I think some of them are actually there like security guards, and then the other one, they're conscious reminders. So I think that's how I want to describe them from now on. They're not necessarily, they are stalking me. Like the technical word for it would be stalking. But that's some of them, that's their fucking job. So what? Oh my gosh, my period just keeps leaking and leaking. This is the weirdest period I've ever had, and that's what makes me believe it's an artificial period created by VOCs from people using heavy cleaning chemicals and shit. Like, it's always been heavy, but now maybe my fibroid's completely gone. It's not very clotty. It's semi-stinky, and it's just like running blood. It's like pissing blood is how it feels like. I feel it's not uncommon for me to fill up, and there's too much information. You can sign off. It's not uncommon for me to fill up a maxi pad in 2 hours. That's another reason I got up just now, is because that shit's about to be full. And then I don't want to leak on my couch, and I'm cheap, so I'm trying to not have to replace I gotta sit on a doggy piss pad so I don't leak on my couch. Yeah, we're going through it with my period right now. Oh my God, buddy. And I don't know, do I want a snack? Do I want a real food? I'm going to make pasta. Okay. Stay with me while I make pasta. I'm not going to do the garlic bread unless I can find bread in the freezer. Hold on a second. Look at how many viewers I lost talking about my period. Get used to it, bitch, if you ever want to have a baby. Excuse my language. There we go. So, that's funny. I'm just talking autistically about things. Be lucky you don't have to smell it. It's funny. Oh, here we go. Welcome back. I'll stop talking about my period. I'm gonna start boiling water for pasta. Let me wash my hands though. We're gonna shake. I just remade my soap. My soap it's a new soap. I quit the Dawn. Did we go over shopping and how we're not gonna buy stuff we can't afford anymore? Oops. And because, not that I can't afford Dawn, of course I can go buy the Dawn, but I'm on a like watch your dollars thing. Be conscious of whose pockets you're making fatter. And in the grand scheme of things, your $5 or $10 or whatever it is, like I got mine from Costco, so I think it's closer to $10, $15. Um, that money doesn't make a big difference in the pockets of the company, the owner, but in the long run, it takes away from them every time you don't buy it. Right? Like, imagine, let's say you're a drug dealer, okay? Imagine being a drug dealer and you have, or you can say hairstylist, you can say anything that sells something to somebody. You could be an attorney. So you have a list of clients, right? And your list of clients is how you determine what it is that you can afford, the services that you can provide, the quality that you can afford to give. Dawn does last longer. The cheaper stuff doesn't. Dawn's also harder to wash off. So imagine having to use more water. If you have a underlying water issue in your apartment, Dawn's going to make it worse because you got to spend 10 more minutes in there scrubbing that shit off the dishes. That's my philosophy, at least. So right now, my apartment has an underlying water issue. So it was a no-brainer to go away from the Dawn because Dawn used to make me scrub twice as long. So if I have an underlying water issue, I'm contributing to it twice as much. As much as I would like to, I may mix half Dawn, half of this, because this one I'm not the most satisfied with it. But either way, my soap has bleach in it, so it's gonna clean. It is just the solution that I use to hold the bleach against the surface while it kills the bacteria and the germs, if you want to get very technical. It's a medium. Right now for the ASMR, I am decanting a liter of distilled water into a pot so I can make pasta. And then I will be making a burger to go along with my pasta. I was watching my kitty eat, was like, damn bitch. My kitty sends me reminders. Now, oh no, okay. Has anyone put bacon in pasta? Is that like a thing? Can we do that? I I have Alfredo sauce, but I already have an open pasta sauce. So, I got my burger. Green, blue, indigo, violet. What's that for? Color wheel. You're talking about color wheel. Color theory, color wheel. Green, blue, indigo, violet's color wheel. Color theory would be like orange, blue, red, green. And what's the other one? Orange, blue, red, green, purple, yellow. That's color theory. And then all the ones in between. You know what I'm saying. Like, this is kind of, Sandra, I like conversation like this because it's just like make you think. I don't even understand what you're saying, but it makes you think. It lets you let your knowledge out. You can say something to make me say something. I love that shit. Whereas most people would be like, what the fuck are you talking about? The fruit came first. Before the seed? Oh my gosh. You're talking about seeding the air. That's the rain that's coming. So the fruit is already here. The fruit is already here. And they're gonna water it. That's the motherfucking mold. You're talking about the mojo. And green, blue, indigo, violet is the colors of it. Where'd you get the orange? Agent Orange, bitch! Right now, Sandra is on a motherfucking level. For those of you who don't understand, I think Sandra is a GATE student, just letting you all know. GATE, G-A-T-E. That gives me more things to talk about. Monsanto. We could talk about Monsanto. We could talk about how we should not trust our government blindly. We should talk about the soap, that Blue Dawn soap. Who was it that said the Dawn lasts longer? Okay, let's talk about that. Everything revolves around money. Here's this conversation. This coming off the top of my head. This universe. If we're doing psychic shit right here, this is a party right now. Everything in the world is about money. The people that control these products that we buy, Dawn lasts longer. Okay, well, what did we use before Dawn? Do you guys remember field trips, going on field trips and having to use cowboy soap? What made the world so toxic that everything can kill you? For ASMR, this is Kinder Seasoning Spicy Garlic Crunch. Don't tell me anything bad about it, because I like it. And just like, only thing in here I think that's bad, citric acid. Sunflower oil, but I'm not worried about getting fat. Everything else seemed pretty natural. If it's less than 2%, they don't have to tell you. Isn't that funny? If it's less than 2%, so if it's only 1%, they don't have to tell you. But anyways, that's just a seasoning I put on my thing. And oh my gosh, this is another fun conversation. We're having like ambiguous words, bring up the memories, bring up the conversation. So, fruit, orange, Agent Orange, Monsanto, your government, Monsanto seeds are not organic seeds. Government sued. Oh gosh, what's that? Government sued motherfuckers. Did the mode just get that much worse? Oh my gosh, I think it is. I don't know what that is, and I don't want to touch it. Let's just... citrus herb blend. Are you guys tripping? I'm tripping a little bit right now, and I'm not even on drugs. So, vinegar. I gotta get the vinegar. Give me a second. Wouldn't that be crazy if you could save me and you're not even in my house and we're just talking on a YouTube live? This is crazy. I think it's time to get rid of my experimental petri dishes. But that would be crazy if they're able to get through a Ziploc baggie, you know? So look at that. No, no worries. That's just, that's not mold. Is that? No, my cabinet is just coming apart. Is that mold? Well, I'll call the lady if it becomes more than 10 feet, no? No hypochondria here. Um, but we got it with the vinegar, at least. Right? Because when I was telling the lady, I never seen dust grow on the underside of shit. But now I think that this is just, I don't know what this is. This is a conundrum. Maybe I just never know. No, maybe I never looked at the underside of the cabinet because I was always concerned about the surface side. Maybe it's time to start looking at the underside. Shit. Look at how crazy that is, Well, if you notice all the spots on shit always, ever, you think you do. I do. I look at every single fucking thing, so that's brand new. I want to say that's brand new. But anyways, don't know if it's mold. It looks more like it's paint, but paint starts to bubble when it's mold, and it looked like bubbly paint. So, we don't know what it is. We don't care. It'll get bad enough. It'll get bad enough. But I do definitely think it's time to get rid of my mold samples. That is, it's amazing. But it's nothing that's not from within this building already, so you can't say it's my fault, bitch. Whatchamacallit. And I just had the inspector come here, and she just took pictures. So if she got pictures of that, and they don't do anything about it, that's on them. Water is boiling already. Good God, that's quick. It wasn't even on the high. So what are we saying, Monsanto? Have you seen the movie that talks about how the seeds spread? Everybody's seeding their bets and shit. I don't really gamble so much, so that's never going to be an issue for me. Because, like, why gamble? My idea is you don't need to gamble because it's more likely than not, you're going to lose that shit. You can. If you're a risk taker and you have nothing to lose, you might as well, But that's like going back towards jumping off the World Trade Center. If you, excuse me. Ooh. If you had a choice to get buried or go flying, what would you choose? It's hard. Most people can't answer that. Most people will not answer that. I wonder how many people just sat at their desks. But let's go back to Monsanto, Agent Orange. Agent Orange Roundup from the ground up. Biofoods. And I'm going to throw Little House on the fucking Prairie in there. So I'm actually going going to get off because I don't know if you guys want to listen. Do you guys want to listen to me wash my dishes? I could leave it on. Just if anybody asks, let them know I'm washing dishes right now. With the not Dawn. Oh, I have to replace my sponge today because I used it to wash something that had left the oil. So we'll replace the sponge. Oh, I guess I can show you my kitchen. It's not so bad. My kitchen is not so nasty. What am I wearing? Make sure you don't see period juice on my fucking pantalones. This is my dishes. I'm not embarrassed of shit. It's whatever. There's my oh, you can't even see it. Mold samples, dishes, sponge. It's not a sponge. It's a mesh. It's a mesh. It's Amish. It's a mesh. I like wordplay. We're just letting things cook. I got maybe 6 more minutes on the pastas. 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh, you're on. Yeah, you get a good look at my apartment. Do you see any moho? I just think I saw a little bit, but it's not black. Like, I don't know where it would have come from. Overnight. I definitely look at these cabinets every fucking night. So that is it spreading. Oh, that's gonna be fun. Seeing all the different kinds of mold that there can be. That's gonna be fun. What else? What else do we want to talk about today? The fruit orange. There was a band named Agent Orange in Thousand Oaks, Newbury Park. Oh, now we're just gonna talk about regular life ass shit, okay? And in that band, I think the guy's name was like Josh. And he had a brother. I can't remember exactly. Punk rock band, I think, right? And I remember going to shows. I used to go to shows. I used to hang out. Oh, if you have kids, or if you're a kid, or if you remember being a kid, and you ever whatchamacallit, you ever hung out with older people, right? How many times have you ever hung out with people that had their own apartments, but you were still living at home with your mom? Would that be statutory rape? Because I do remember a PBS video. Have you heard of the Blair Show? Has anybody ever heard? Oh, my armpits make me look like a man. Have you heard of the Blair Show? The Blair Show, for whatever reason, was allowed to post a video of me getting fucked. Literally. Maybe figuratively too. And it was taken from outside of someone's apartment. it was taken without my permission and then posted to public access television. So that's why I'm not embarrassed about shit. Because at 15 years old, my whole body, my whole everything got exposed by Blair Hansen. So ever since then, I've known about it. I've not cared about it. I think a lot of the people who follow me around also know about it. And they're like, oh, I don't know what that has to do with anything. But I just thought I'd like to share in case people are wondering how I have no inhibitions and I can be so free. The guy that I was having sex with, Logan Andreessen, if you want to talk about it. He's a really cute surfer guy. Right, so when somebody was asking me, like, I don't know if they were asking or what it was that they said, something about, like, if you could have had any man in the world or something like that, like, I had all the men that I wanted to. I didn't know. What I suspect now is he may have been 19 when I was 15. 18 or 19 when I was 15. It would all depend on what year he was born in. And I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I could not tell you what year he was born in. We just went there and we used to go, like, we snuck out of Kristen's house one night. We put a sheet out her window, tied it to her bed, and then climbed down from the second story. Wow! And then we went over there and hung out. Kristen was a handler. Pretty sure. Don't quote me. And so when you mentioned, like, orange, the seed came first, or blah, 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 whatever, whatchamacallit, that just reminds me of Agent Orange, Thousand Oaks, Gainsborough House. I knew a lot of people who got married to people that I had sex with. One of the ladies, they had, I don't like talking about people's habits, but I think this is relevant. Because her husband passed away. And at that house, we enjoyed hanging out there because we got to drink. There was a lot of drinking that went on at that house. We were definitely underage, and I don't even know, maybe I was buying the liquor, I don't know. But we were definitely underage. I don't think I was, because I think we were drinking beer. And the beer would have already been there. So I don't know how we got there. Kristen drove us, obviously. Right? Because we went there in a green 4Runner. Not my mom's, Kristen's. I also think it's funny that Kristen had the same car as my mom, but a nicer one. Kristen's was nicer. Kristen's had leather seats. My mom just had the regular one. So wouldn't that be something if, like, this is an even bigger plot on my life than you would ever imagine? Like, if she got that car so that people would think that my mom's car was her car or her car was my mom's car, or like, that would just be crazy. Because what also ended up happening is my brother used to take my mom's car out before he had his driver's license. He showed me how to do it, and then I used to do it, right? And if people ever saw me driving, they wouldn't know if it was her car if they weren't paying attention. They wouldn't know if it was Kristen's car or my mom's car. And I often drove Kristen around because she liked to drink a lot. Right? I would apologize to her for divulging this information, but I think it's well known, well documented, and she was my handler. At 15 years old, I had a handler who was 16. So when you start thinking about all the coincidences, it adds up a little bit. So the seed came first. No, the fruit came first. So I'm still, that one threw me for a loop. I'm still trying to figure it out. What if it came from Logan? Right. But that's another thing. I've had a lot of tests done, and if nobody's told me, then how would I be responsible? Like, I've gone to several doctors and had blood tests taken. So I'm fairly certain I'm okay. If you want to, for the people who have gone through all my medical records and stuff, the last blood test I had was taken at Exeter in Thousand Oaks, Agora Hills. No, Calabasas, off of Las Virginias. So what I wanted to ask is, I would like people to get that record, you know? So in the event that I were to perspire, expire, or whatever you want to call it, shit, I was supposed to mash this up and make it, I was supposed to make this motherfucking, whatchamacallit? Oh, also, adding about Blair. Blair became paparazzi. I don't know who he worked for, but he made really good money, I believe, off of like those kind of videos that he used to make, following people around, you know? And I remember him saying that he loves gold, like how Michael Myers used to. I never had sex with Blair, but I remember him calling my house one day, and my mom saying, "Why do you have like a 35-year-old man calling?" He wasn't 35. I don't think he was 35. If he was, then that's really bad. I think I saw Logan the other day on PCH. I was driving up PCH, and I don't know how I made it all the way out to Neptune's Net. But I was just driving, like canyon driving, just to drive. And I think I saw him out there. He surfed so much that, at least if it was him, that he looked like he's black, but he had blonde braids in his hair. And he was with his family. He's got a kid and a wife and shit. Real big surfer. So, PBS played that video at night. Did PBS ever get in trouble for that? Or were they allowed to? Look up The Blair Show. Look that shit up. That might have been why the guy at Exeter looked at me like that. When I came to get my records, I think he was expecting it to come back not clean. And he looked at me like they fucked up. That's the look that I got. How would you get access to that video? You would have to get it from PBS, no? I'm sure Blair has it. So, I think there are rumors that were spread about me that would say things like I did that, like that was me. It wasn't me. I did not want that to happen. I went over there. What I wanted to happen happened, but I did not expect it to be filmed and broadcast to the public like that. Would that be considered defamation? I don't even care. Right? Because I believe in karma. I believe in karma, and I believe that people get theirs. And I believe that the reason I left all those friends and I got away from people was because I knew that wasn't me. I believe the reason why I could fart and live with my teeth like this is because it keeps men away from me. When you're a rape victim, that was consensual, but it shouldn't have happened if he was 19. If he was 19, that's the same as like Celeste and shit. So that would be the same as Celeste and shit. I think I need a bigger bowl than this. That sounds bigger. This sounds bigger. So sweet. I don't know if they're saying like every time. I don't know what they're saying, but V2K is going crazy right now. Oh, because I'm eating. Ah, that's why. V2K, the people who are behind the stock, the people who are employed to harass me, they are, they're told to start the harassment right before I eat. So I'm about to enjoy a meal, and all I can hear right now is every time, you, and that's what digital harassment is. That's the Havana syndrome. Um, every time you have a kombucha, every time. And what do I want to do? Do I want an avocado? I might as well because it's going to go bad. And the other thing I needed to do, since I'm not going to make the garlic bread, I am going to have this stuff. Manchego. Everybody's having fun tonight. Little things like loosening the handle on my drawers let me know that they came in all right. Off the handle. Oh my gosh, my period. My boobies. I'm supposed to be discouraged from going outside because I really think that I would have noticed. So listen. I want to show you this right here. I really think I would have noticed this like before today, and I don't think that the wood changed that much overnight, so that leads me to believe somebody really did come in here and they're trying to make it look like that's motherfucking mold because they want me to have an overreaction to it. But what it looks like to me, it didn't even take the paint off. Like, you know, like that's a weird thing. So I don't care if they're accessing my unit. Like what? I'm eating. And if they don't get a reaction, does that mean they can't do it anymore? That means that I'm a witness to something. And they're testing me for trial. They want to see if they will be able to tear me apart on the stage in a trial. No. My reactions are rational. My reactions are 100% rational, despite being a rape victim. Because I've seen how some of Epstein's victims are. Like, have you ever seen their interviews and they're like smoking cigarettes and they're like, you could really tell the PTSD. Mine is just whatever. Oh, and it are they saying that they flooded my kitchen? Because it does look like over here got wet just barely, and then they lowered it because that's how some of this stuff would have gotten wet. Oh yeah, they put the orange in there. The orange? Does my orange? Your orange? Orange? Orange. This part is it's like the most interesting part. I wish you guys could hear what they're saying. I really do. Um, let me. But if you knew how desperate this voice, the V2K voice sounds, it sounds like a. It sounds like an incel. It sounds like someone who's mad that they never got pussy. Okay. The reason I think that they do this is because they can only get paid if they get to look at my emails or video camera feeds and stuff. So that's why I'm always on the live. What does that say? You had to step out, buddy. What are you cooking? This is pasta. Just a regular ass pasta. One burger, 1/3 pound burger patty pasta. And the fruit came first. Still trying to figure it out. I got psychics over here. Somebody like they been in my apartment or something. But the fruits dried out with no mold. They really don't want me to eat. I'll tell you what it sounds like they're saying. They're saying everyone's getting abatement and I'm getting remediation or something. Vice versa. I don't know. I really don't care anymore. There's not that much mold in my apartment. And there's people that I think are responsible for it. Considering how many times have all these other apartments had floods? Right? Like if there was never a flood, there would be no mold. That was a fly, and I don't know where they came from. But they're here. You know what that means. Oh, oh, get away from me, fly. Imagine. You know, I've called to get legal help quite a few times, but never like facetiously, always knowing that I'm not the cause of the problem. I've called numerous times, and I've been played with numerous times. And I think that it's about time I start getting help. Oh, that's another thing I wanted to talk about. This whole design of this, right? The reason that it's set up like this, like they know me so well. They know that I'm going to document and put this stuff on YouTube because I'm going to get tired of writing in journals. I'm going to get tired of trying to save this stuff to my memory, to my photo memory cards, SD cards. I got 18 terabytes worth of motherfucking video footage and stupid shit, pictures, documents. Everything that I've collected since I worked at Lewis Brisbois, Biscard and Smith. And it is done so, the reason that there's so many people involved is because, oops, I gotta get that, is because if I collect this much data and documents, it's going to be damn near impossible for people to go through everything. So my chance of representation goes down each video that I make. And having that knowledge, I still don't care. I have to document it because it is, it's really that bad. It's really that bad. So I just finished making my dinner. They don't want me to eat. That's why they turned the V2K up high. If you look, if you are a targeted victim or if you're not, Lance the PI, if you question targeted victims' recounts of things, Lance the PI has posted their entire handbook. And he goes in and he discusses some of the things, and those things include the digital harassment before leaving your house, which is the same harassment that I receive before eating. Every time I eat. You see how we were just having a perfectly fine conversation, and then all of a sudden I have to make mention of the digital V2K harassment? I'm not making that shit up. They're talking about everyone. I don't know who everyone is because I don't talk to anyone anymore. So the reference to everyone, that's completely theirs. That's their friends. That's their knowledge. That's whatever it is that they think that it's going to jerk me into remembering. Right? And it doesn't. It doesn't, because I'm going to enjoy this meal. Alright? I gotta just make sure the fly doesn't land on it. So, um, oh, what else they're trying to do? I don't know. They need an angry voice file to complete whatever it is that they have planned against me. I'm way over anger. I'd rather have a clean dishes, a clean sink. Right. I'll get my anger out scrubbing this pan clean. Pan's clean too, because I could feel it. And, you know, it's clean. That's real. Remember what's real? That's really clean. Oh, and now the V2K is saying, and then it's supposed to make me think about things like, they used to always talk about suing me. And I don't know what they would sue me for. I don't know why they would sue me. I don't know. What I think is that they're grifters. They want me to think of a reason for them to sue me, or they want me to think about how much money I have. I have neither one. And they're gonna sue me. They're talking about a former employer who said that they're gonna sue me. Well, this former employer, if you want to talk about it, this former employer has a paywall up on some documents that I'm really interested in. And I don't know if they're trying to force me into paying for that paywall, because that's like the entertainment industry. Like, anybody who wants to be entertained can go on ahead and sign up for Pacer or whatever, and they can get access to these documents. I don't care to do that. I'll see in the end, once all the stuff comes out in the wash. Right. Also, like Aaron Brockovich said, it is a big it's a data hunt. They want you to put your credit card in, so then they can start doxing all your shit again. So when they talk about nailed it, I did every time. That's what nailed it means. Nailed it means this bitch fucking knows our plan and nobody fucking told her. But yet every time, she seems to be able to describe exactly what it is that we're fucking doing. They've done it to other people. They've gotten away with it with other people. But I am not other people. Oh my gosh, just so nice. Cleaning up the floors. If you want to see this, I clean my floors. Sit. We do that just about every time we cook. So, the subfloor, I'm pretty sure that there's mold that's growing up through the grout. But she scrubbed it with the scrubby, so supposedly it's okay. I don't know about that. That looks like it's still there if you ask me. But I think I can get that out with a steam cleaner. Okay, so I had to do that because I dropped a little bit of cheese and I don't want to step in it before I go back in my living room. And then I'm going to put one more paper towel on the floor. So the next time that I do spill, preemptive strikes and stuff, you know. When you're like guessing what somebody's going to do next and then you just fucking go. I still have a little bit more dishes to wash, but I'll do these later. Oh, this one here. Is this knife clean? No, because we used it to cut the cheese open. From Blair, I would just like an apology. I would just like him to say, I might never get it, but if you're watching, Blair, I would just like you to be like, hey, that was fucked up what I did, and I apologize. You don't even have to say that you're sorry. You could just apologize. Because I know you're probably not sorry. I wonder how much money he made. Did he make money off of that? That was free TV. He didn't make money on that. But everybody in my town talked about it. Everybody in my hometown talked about it for the longest time. When I was a cheerleader, that's the reason I think the cheerleading coach told everybody, she's having sex and drinking now. So that would be defamation because I don't know if that was necessarily her business to tell. And drinking, I was not. I may have had drinks, but I don't know. I really don't think that was her business to tell. Is it like similar to Kristen's? I don't know. It's the truth. It's not a lie. So I can't tell you the number of times I had to drive her car. Why would I have to drive her car if she was perfectly sober? Oh, that was Louis Brisboy's water bottle falling. Symbolism. The fruit. The fruit. Oh, while I'm here, I might as well. Nope, I'm going to eat first because I got to make sure the fly doesn't come. Okay. So now, am I going to drink the kombucha just out the bottle? I don't ever do that. Where's my little... I'll be right back. This is just water. I gotta drink this. Just plain water. Watch the fly. Make sure the fly doesn't come. I did not, what should I call it? I didn't make garlic bread this time. Because I just want to eat. Oh, I know how it happened. Okay, so I had the inspection. We'll talk about it. This is one of the best brooches. It has hibiscus. So good. in order for them to make me think someone's been in my house, there has to be some kind of collusion, right? So there was a photo taken under my sink, and I'm not saying that the inspector gave it away, because I think that the network has every ability to get access to that photo without having the inspector give it away. So I'm not gonna say anything about the inspector because I'm very thankful, but I do think that the network is trying to make me paranoid. That's how you manufacture paranoid schizophrenia. So when I came home today from my walk, there was orange peel. There was an orange peel. Let's see, I don't want that angle. Is that better? No, you just see my belly then. Here. There you go. There was an orange peel that was left on the stairwell. And then we just had that little talk right now. So not to say that my guests are doing funny stuff, but you know, who? Oh my gosh, my period's leaking. It's leaking bad. Oh no, we sprung a leak. Oh no, I can't eat right now. I'm just gonna power through it and hope that I sprung a leak. I gotta be right back. Oh my gosh, my food is ready though. Power through it, bitch. Oh, now we're gonna watch Disgusting. So, here we go. This is what it's like to have a really heavy period. This is about normal now. Now we're at normal. I already sprung a leak through my pants, so might as well just ride that shit out, huh? I'm gonna move my pillow though. And we're just gonna hope that this little doggy pissy pad holds it all together. So this is what you get to do when somebody posts a video of you on PBS. You just get to be all that you can be. You do you, girl. Correct. All the different colors of the rainbow almost. And it's just life. It's just life. I did not get a short stick. I got a lot of long ones. I got a good attitude about it, so it'll probably cost you less money in court. If we were to ever get there. So, like, if people are still trying to make me angry, and you seen what my period does, right now is the last chance you're ever going to have to make me angry. Because if I get angry, it's going to be more blood coming out my coochie. I can't do that. This is probably the worst time for you to try to make me angry. My security system is pretty good, and I feel like I would know if you guys accessed it, and I don't even care to check. But that orange on the stairs was designed to make me think that you guys have access, or you do. You have access to the internet, and you have access to all of the Internet of Things, and you have access to people. You can pay people. You could pay the county, somebody at the county, to send that to you. And then they want to try to play with people's heads. I'm too smart for that. Way too smart for that. Um, did you get all the facial expressions, huh? Thanks, John. That's the whole point of this. They like to look at your facial expressions when you're like, oh, I'll never be like that though. I'll be like, oh well. Mm, mm, no. Have you ever been on a, well, let's not do that. Have you ever been somewhere in which somebody's like training you and then they say things to make you say things and then they wait for you to realize that they just keyworded your ass? Mm-hmm. um, some people really get off on that. You already asked me that yesterday. I would use blinks like Morse code, and if we were in a court case, I would demand to use brainwaves. Because I know it's possible. That's what brainwaves was for. That's why the government has that technology. So, it's okay. Are you able to look at my iOS, my OS? My OS. If you're able to tap into my OS, I could change the interface. Right? I can make it vertical. I can make it horizontal. I can make it like a book. I can make it like a photo album. So, I think the longer this goes on, you just have to find how to hook me up to a computer screen. Right? You can. They will. They will be able to. They will be able to. Whatchamacallit? Eventually, they will be able to hook you up to a computer screen, microphone, stereo speaker, whatever. And, or well, in your case, they will be able to make it so you can see again, right? Like Neuralink makes it so people can hear all kinds of shit they're not supposed to. Um, so you'll be able to see again. Just you wait. Hold on out. I don't even think you'll need money because they want to experiment. So, um, right, and then you're gonna have really wealthy philanthropists that want to pay for that shit for you. Like, I want to be like a Melinda Gates. If I were to, let's say, find a rich husband, like a really rich one, I just want to give his money away. I want to give his money away and do good, but he has to have earned it in a legal, fully legal manner. So like somebody who just got more money than what they fucking know what to do with, that's never heard a person, like, I don't know if Warren Buffett, he's already married, right? But you have to have like Warren Buffett kind of money, Wally Mart kind of money, and I just want to give that shit away. But there's some things I disagree with about Walmart, but I like their economical, their business plan. Their business plan is just buy the most of it. If you buy the most of it, everybody got to buy that shit from you, and you get the best price. We just did economics 101. So, for people who don't understand what Walmart does, though, to the economy, when they don't pay workers, I want everyone at Walmart to get a raise to $30 an hour at least. If we're talking about like a universal income, I think $30 an hour is a good start. No, I don't know if it's the diet. I pay attention. My mom told me that she knew someone who once just like cold turkey cut out seed oils and lost 100 pounds pretty instantly. So if you have the ability to read the ingredients, excuse me, and I don't eat stuff that has soy because estrogen makes me emotional. Um, I have extra testosterone, I think, and then estrogen makes, that's probably the reason why I like my metabolism, something to do with my metabolism. Soy will give you bitch titties. If you're a man and you have bitch titties, look at the ingredients. Stop eating soy. Um, Sunflower oil makes you fat. I don't know exactly what it does. I haven't done the research, but I do know when I eat food that doesn't have it, I feel better. Um, but because I'm not necessarily trying to lose weight, every now and then, like I think my seaweed has sunflower oil on it. But if you start looking at the ingredients of your food and you realize everything has soy, you're going to be like, it's no wonder I'm fat. Soy or sunflower oil. Palm oil also. Don't eat that. Anything partially hydrogenated, di, mono. If it's got to have something in front of it, I don't want it. Um, what else? Sometimes people want to know about your diet because they plan on taking your organs. Right? They will go live a life where they drink. I don't think my kidneys or my liver are any good because of my overuse of coconut water. Like drinking too much of that stuff. You can only have one a day, and you can go a day or two without it. You know. Um, but if you think, I can't lean, I can't do anything because I'm bleeding from everywhere. Um, if you think, yeah, any way I go, it's leaking like a flood. This is one of the reasons why working from home is beneficial. Because it's like a whole week out of the month that I just gotta sit like this. Right? It's real nasty. I could probably get a doctor's note for it. But I don't need to. It's beautiful. And listen. If you work hard enough and you work for the right place, like, your life's really good. So you don't have like stress weight. I think a lot of, a lot of people stress eat. Today, I don't know if it was period eating, I think. Today I had all these fucking snacks, and it was every time I had to start a new assignment, I just ate snacks. And it was a really snack filled day. Popsicles at the end, fruit sugars. That's probably why my period's like this right now. The more sugar, the worse it is. Ooh, it's awful. But at least now, excuse me, it's not as I think my fibroid has shrunken, and it's not as clotty, because it used to clot real bad. So I wonder what makes it clot versus just be regular. I had an embolism, a fibroid embolism, where they put a little tiny incision in me, and they went up and then they cauterized my fibroid. They cut off the blood supply to it. So I wonder if it's shrinking now. I probably should go to the doctor and see. You know how much money he made? He made like $200,000 off that surgery. Well, he had to pay the surgery center and his employees and stuff, but my insurance paid around $200,000 for that shit. That's the importance of medical fucking insurance. Isn't that crazy? Imagine if you don't have insurance. Well, that's what the government's supposed to support you with, right? Like, how do you afford medical care? How does someone who doesn't have a job fucking survive? Let's talk about universal income. Let's talk about universal income. Reason being is because you have to, in order to get a baseline for universal income, you have to find someone who's not materialistic. Everyone's materialistic, right? Everyone wants to buy shit. So I wonder if everyone puts their budget. That's what rocket fucking thing is. Man, we're having an enlightening one tonight. Those Rocket Money Managers, all those money manager things, anything, QuickBooks even, anything that you put your financial information into, anytime you have to download a statement from the bank and put it into one of those motherfucking things, it's just data gathering. And then what they use, there's so many statistics out there. And then what they are going to do with that is, I think we're moving towards a universal income. Universal income and this weird ass digital fucking monitoring shit. So you hear me talking about the V2K in my kitchen? Your turn's next. And that's cognitive conditioning. It's designed to it's twofold. Part of it's designed to prevent crime, right? Because think about who's doing it. It's the people who manufacture all the shit that you go in the store and you want to buy or steal. They're all at a meeting somewhere at like a country club at the fucking Koreatown Spa Day or whatever. athletic club meeting rooms, and they're discussing what they see the future to be. Um, and some of them are criminals. Some of them are pushing an agenda. So that's where how do we eliminate poor people comes in, right? First thing they want to do before middle class, before middle class gets a universal income, right? And I say middle class, if it's a universal income for the middle class, it's got to be more than $45 because $90,000, I think up to $100,000 is still considered poverty level. Now, isn't that crazy? You can make 6 figures and still be considered a fucking broke ass. Excuse me, poor person. Right. Stop cursing. I don't want you to tell YouTube on me. So it would be crazy to make $90,000 this year and still be considered poor. I'm not even working overtime though, so it's not going to be 90. And that's my whole thing. When you go to get a job where the baseline is overtime, and you're like, no. So here's where negotiating is. In my negotiations, I said, I'm going to do, let me see if it lets me turn it upside down like this. Nope, it won't let me. Still going? Nope, it's still going. Can you still hear me and see me? Huh? Well, I gotta change the angle of the phone, so we're just gonna talk like this for a minute. Universal income and shit. I gotta go to the bathroom, but I don't want to get off. I'm so addicted to the YouTuber. Universal income. Everybody that's like, let's say Section 8 right now, they're gonna get a raise. And then anybody that is I would say they're gonna bring middle class down to accommodate for the raise that they give to the really poor people. Well, not even really poor people, just regular people, right? Regular people are on Section 8. The really poor people, the people that they forced into the street, they're not going to give them shit. That's where the targeted individual program comes in. That's where like having all these cars with the self-driving shit comes in. Cars that can tell when you are swerving lanes and shit. That's going to affect your insurance prices. Right? You have little mini snitches. So when you go, that's the reason I didn't want a new car. When you go and upgrade, they're going to be like, oh, boom, now insurance prices in Los Angeles went up 30%. Because everybody got a car that tells on their ass. So that's why they keep telling me to use my blinker when I switch lanes. And I'll be like, but why? It's not even anybody there. Whereas before, that you just made classic cars that much more collectible. You know who has a lot of classic cars? Jay Leno. And others that are really rich. So it's better to stay in an older car if you have a mechanic friend, family member, husband. Because anything that they can collect information from, they will use it to charge you money or to discredit you. That's it. So that's why Tesla camera car makes me, I won't say angry because that's what you guys are trying to make me. That's probably why there's so many of them. It makes me think that people aren't really thinking. If you don't have a dual motor, that car's cheap. It's a piece of trash. Right? $30,000 on a car, that's a Honda Civic. You can get a Honda Civic, a real nice one, for $30,000. So, and then Tesla doesn't even have a, I don't know much about them, but one of the reasons I don't have one, and I never even looked at it beyond what I researched, they don't change the body style. They just give you an old ass car and they send an update to the computer. So you don't even know which car you have, really. Right? That was one of the most convoluted, confusing things ever. It's like, well, you can get this model, or you can get this model, or you could get the refurbished this model that's better than this model, but it's older. I guess they have to like recycle them, because what the fuck are you gonna do with? Oh, that's my other question. What are you gonna do with the batteries? What do they do with the battery? Do you know they had to make whole new fire trucks just to put out Tesla crashes? A regular fire engine is not going to put out a Tesla crash. Isn't that crazy? They basically have to cover it. Have you seen one? Well, the one I saw, I think what they did, they like cover it in a foam and then put it in a bag and wait for that shit to cool down. Whereas why can't they, like, that's the reason I would not want to become a firefighter. Because you know how, oh, but also there's firefighter technology. Have you seen like the sound machine fire extinguisher where they hit it with the sound wave and go boom, and the motherfucking fire, the freaking fire comes out, goes out. Like, sound waves are crazy. So imagine creating something and then having to tell people, but don't park it in your garage. You want to know why they did that though? Because the car has cameras. You know who has the most cameras? Probably Tesla has the most closed circuit television cameras, CCTVs. Next, followed by Metro bus. Next, I would say Allied Universal, but I haven't seen them around so much. Because think about all the properties that they gotta manage for security wise. So if you combine Metro buses, Allied Universal, just like local hacker accessing a regular storage camera, and Teslas, the whole entire world is under surveillance. You don't have to point your phone at me. Right? Anybody who's out there like, don't videotape me, don't go outside then. Do you get me? Like, there's no more, she's phone stalking me. You're not, because guess what? If somebody wanted to, they would just dial into the fucking Tesla that's living on your street, that parked next to you. That, like, imagine how many people don't know how their information got stolen. Well, you were texting while you were riding the bus, or you parked next to a Tesla and the owner was watching you enter all your fucking passwords. Right? That's why they gotta fix my apartment. I could just shut up right now if you guys were like, we're gonna fix the floor. Um, but instead you want to play this 1,000 cuts game. You got way more money to lose than I do. $1,000 cuts, $1,000, bitch. Oh, but fixing my floor, I think it should be more than $1,000. You gotta take the whole thing up. But that's just, these are the thoughts that go on in my head. This is why I can't talk to people. This is why I don't talk to people, because there's a lot of people that get angry about this because they never thought about it. There's a lot of people out there that are like, I want a Tesla, I want a Tesla, I want a Tesla so bad. And they don't think about it. And you know that you're not the only person that could look at your little Sentry mode camera. Oh, they got more though. Rivion's got a camera. Rivian though at least will put you on the camera on the screen in the car. I don't know if Tesla does too, but I pulled up next to a Rivian, walked up, whatever you want to call it, and it on the screen inside it's like, you're being videotaped. I appreciate that. I appreciate that because it lets me know not to do anything stupid while I'm standing next to your car. I like a Rivian. Right. Only reason I don't want one is because the handles. That's a coffin. That's a big old. That's a you and your doggy coffin. I'm sure there's safety features, but safety features can also be disabled, like how my window can be controlled by somebody else. And I don't even have the car system. If you got that car system, KARR, might as well kiss your car goodbye. You should pay attention and see if stuff gets rearranged on the inside. Right? All right. They did a whole video on it. Not to be a fearmonger or anything, but there was a whole video on it on the YouTubes. And a guy just drove around with his little hacker app accessing people's car system, the KARR system. Supposedly, that was meant for dealers to be able to track cars, right? Like dealerships are able to track the cars, and it's a security feature for them to disable the engine while the car's parked on the lot. But if you don't know about electronics, right, like if you know about electronics, you should go into your fuse box and see where those wires run back to and shit. Everything has to get plugged into the battery, so all you gotta do is find which fucking wire it is. Electrician. So you could fix things, you could break things. Somebody out there is gonna be like, it's the third green wire wrapped around the thing. I remember I had a projector and I had to Kingo root it. I Kingo rooted it. There was a warning that came up when the bulb was near the end of its life. The fan. It was the bulb or the fan? I think the fan. And I can't remember, one of them. It popped up with a locked screen error message that froze the device. And I was like, you know what? I paid way too much for this. The guy said the lamp was gonna last 15,000 hours, 30,000 hours, something like that. I know I didn't watch it that much. So a little bit more research. I found a Kingo root. Kingo rooted it and went into its file system, and I deleted the error message. And then I was able to keep using the projector. And then the error message came back again, but they had locked Kingo root down. So I wasn't able to go back in. Like, I'd have to go through a computer to do it. And I was just trying to do it. So, knowing about computers, it will do a really good thing for you. That's that. That's that. Okay, I'm gonna go now because I want to put the rest of my food away and I want to go to the restroom. But good talk, guys. I wish I would have gotten to talk more about more fun things. We just had a couple of comments. Oh, I do want to say there's a couple more things I want to say. I want to lean back, but I can't. We'll see. Wrap myself up like I got a diaper. This, oh, see, this is, oh, nope. See, that's a bad idea. The guy that's like, you're always on your back. Yeah, if you were bleeding out your coochie, you might want to lay down however you could lay down. But every time I move, it's just like super squirter. Good God. It's not the worst period. Normally my cramps are much worse than this. And there's a lot more clotting. This is like I said, it's like pee and blood. Right, just sitting on a little diaper pad made me feel like a baby. I'm like a baby. Is this supposed to make me have to wash more clothes or something? Nah. I'm going to change my maxi pad and do it all over again. I might change the doggy pee-pee pad. PPBs is only 37, so we're good. Yep. And don't touch your couch with your foodie hands. Don't touch your couch with your foodie hands. That's how they spread the mold. That's how they spread the mold. Hey. Okay, I can go now. Because, God forbid, this ever has to go into a court case. You know how long we're going to be listening to me talk about bullshit? Speed it up. Or slow it down.